What's up, nerds? Welcome to episode 7. Just got me and Josh today. Sorry. So
You're welcome, actually.
you're
welcome, you dog cunt. We
yep,
got some Jedi Juice here.
some Japside juice, some Hop Nation Japside juice. I'm going to
Straight
open mine right
from
now.
the
Actually,
Japside.
I've been wanting to try this for so fucking long.
And the good fellas down at the bottle that I can't even say the fucking name of. It's like Gargantula Thortron something.
You sure it's not a Dungeons and Dragons shop?
Yeah, I think so.
Listen to the sound of this gorgeous can.
You actually
opening.
throw your rings into the top of the bottle shop and they'll be destroyed forever. And by ring, I mean your bumhole.
Oh, now I'm suddenly interested. Yeah, so this is what is this, a Napier?
It's a
IPA?
New England IPA.
Yeah.
Hop Nation again.
These are super hard to get as well.
Yeah, they only were selling like a drop to every customer, one drop.
Well, I'm actually surprised they let you get 2 cans because everywhere I've ever seen it's been 1 can limit.
Yeah.
Like, Main Liquor had
Cheers, you dog.
1 carton. That's all they got. Cheers, man. So what have
Um,
you been up to this week?
Well, suffering in the hell that is my work and my job. Suffering doing that, but I don't know. I've been listening to a shitload of new podcasts. Actually, I'm balls deep in crime ones. Like honestly,
Yeah,
balls deep.
we were talking about a couple yesterday, actually. What was that? There was 2 that were pretty interesting, actually. The Snowtown one, which I think a lot of people heard of. I just haven't really heard of it. And but there's another one. There's that German guy you were saying that was going around fucking chasing people around in the outback or something, pretending
Yeah.
his car was broken.
Let me just say before I say anything else,
That fucking
that
beer is amazing.
so
eh?
good. Oh, I'm gonna talk about that's for later. But yeah, this one called True Crime, because podcast is literally one of the few things that keeps me from necking myself at work.
You should do it, actually.
Oh,
I've been thinking about this a lot. What would it take for you to kill yourself?
not having podcasts at work. I'll get to work. Someone just cut one of like my earphones, and I'm just like, I'll just hang myself for the rest of the course.
Just slowly walk off the 10th story balcony.
It's not a bad idea, actually. At least I'll never have to work again.
Well, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one way to get out of work. It's not a bad option, actually.
Because working is for cunts, and I'm a cunt, but I'm not a cunt that likes to work. So
Just depends on your job, eh? I just...
no.
Well, if you like your job, like what if your job's touring musician, then, it's probably a lot more fun than being a bricklayer. Well, I'm sure there's some
What if
people
your
out there that
job's
like
giving-
being bricklayers.
What if your job's giving alleyway gobbies to homeless people,
Yeah, I'm sure there's people that enjoy that.
and you only get paid in homeless change? It's got AIDS
What's
on it.
the difference between normal
It's change plus AIDS.
That is so offensive. I can't believe you would.
You're welcome, world.
Unbelievable.
No, yeah. So it's called True
True crime.
Crime or something.
Yeah, I think you said.
Something like that. I don't know.
I'll look it up. Anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, it's cool. Yeah. So I listened to a couple. I was listening to one today before you got here. I was actually like, fuck. I wanted to sit there and continue on. Like, I wish I had another hour to finish it. But man, it's fucking hectic. Like, you think this world's a good place? Yeah. Case file. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you search true crime, it's the first one that comes up. It's like a blue background. It's called Case File True Crime.
There's a lot of Australian crimes in there, but
Is this all Australian stuff?
No, it's everything. So the one I was listening to was in Victoria, British Columbia. It's on Vancouver Island. Lovely place. You think you go there, it's like a little nice, picturesque town. Like,
That's where you used to live, right? Vancouver?
yeah, so Victoria's like you can catch a ferry over to this town. I used to work over there sometimes. I used to set up shit for trade shows, doing odd jobs and that. But this place, man, it's so hectic. So this girl, I haven't finished it yet. This girl rings. She's like a real estate agent in training, and her friends. These 2 people, random people, ring up, and one at a time, but both of them call her, and they say, they have like a specific high amount of money, like $1.6 million or something they want to spend on a house, and they're moving on the weekend. They have cash or something, and they want to buy this house like out. They're like, we want to buy one now and move to Victoria. Like, we're coming in 3 days or whatever. And she's like, oh, that's odd. And they were putting on an accent. So they were putting on some kind of Spanish accent, but it was bad. And she's like,
this couple's like a couple 1-2 murderers.
Well, turns out, but she rings up her boyfriend. This is so fucked up, hey. She rings up her boyfriend and she's like, these guys or this couple wants me to go and check this place out, show them through, but they just weirded me out. They were weird, and tells them sort of about what was going on with them. And she had, two of them call her, the guy and the girl, and they were putting on accents and shit. And the boyfriend's like, yeah, I'll come with you, because her parents are like, make sure someone goes with you as well. So she goes, the boyfriend has something else to do for his job, and he's meant to be there at 5 to meet her, and he's going to meet her there and go through the house or whatever, just be there. And he's running late, and they had surveillance footage of it, and he's with a mate. So he's running late, and the time he said he would on the surveillance is accurate. So he gets there and he rings her up. He's like, before he leaves, and he goes, oh, I'm going to be 10 minutes late. And she's like, oh, yeah, no worries. The Mexicans have just rolled in. I got to fucking go. And he's like, no worries. I'll be there in 10 minutes. So he gets there in 10 minutes, and her car's out the front, and he goes, just drives and parks in the street next, or up the street or something. And then like waits 20 minutes. He's just sort of waiting for her to come out. And then nothing's happened. So he texts her and she doesn't get back. And he calls her and she won't answer. And he goes in the house, like, he can see her shoes, and he's ringing the fucking door. Meanwhile, it's been half an hour. He's ringing this doorbell. Can't get in, so they ring the cops and like, something's going on here. I'm going to break into this house because, something's... So jumps over the fence, goes upstairs. The girl's on the bed, been stabbed 40 times or over 40 times, like had her throat cut, just fucking like brutal. And this guy's like freaking out, rings the cops, and the cops get there. So and then that was sort of that story, and they haven't found they haven't actually caught the guy, but I'm only halfway through this podcast, and then there's an update. So a few weeks later, so I think they must have caught him. But
yeah, right. So this is was like a cold case at the time of the.
It's not a cold case. It wasn't that long ago. Yeah, this was in 2009, I think.
What? How long does it have to be before it's a cold case? Because that's fucking.
Well, I'd say they just have to retire the case. They stop investigating.
Yeah, right.
But he had this. It comes out there's all these links. He started reading out the way all these people are linked, like her ex-boyfriend, and there was this big Canada's biggest drug bust that went down, and some people that they were friends with are involved, and he's going through, and I was like, oh, they're starting to connect, but I didn't get to finish it, and I'm like, god damn it.
That's the worst.
Yeah, it's so intriguing, but I was like, yeah, you think this world's a good place. Yeah, it ain't.
Yeah, especially Canada.
Up. And yeah, all these ones like shit in Australia that I didn't even know, man. I was listening to that Sarah Spears one on the Claremont kill.
Yeah, the Claremont
I listened to that, and I was like, some fucked up shit happens here. Like that dude, I finished that one today, and that dude was just cruising around for 20 years, probably murdering heaps of women.
I've forgotten, did they thought he was a taxi driver the whole time. Did he turn out to be a taxi driver?
He wasn't related. It wasn't anyone that had in their suspect list.
Yeah, it wasn't. They didn't have a suspect, but they just thought that it was a taxi driver.
Yeah, they did think that. And what happened...
And he didn't turn out to be a taxi driver.
No, he was just... I don't know what he was, but he's just... So when they caught him, he's just living at his house with his daughter, and he's like 40, lived there with his daughter, and he apparently, before those 3 murders happened, he grabbed some girl, just like jumped out of a van, bagged her over the head, chucked her in the van, and took her to a cemetery and raped her, and then let her go. They caught him. Yeah, and that's how they caught him. But... It's like, how did that not come to surface? Because that happened before all this shit.
Yeah, the only reason they connected those, because they were seemingly separate crimes, right? A rape, because the rape was years ago. It was a long time ago. And so were the killings now, but the rape was quite a long time before the killings, and they just seemed unconnected. because his MO was that he would kill them, right? And then there was some new evidence found. I believe it was a silk shawl of some kind, and they DNA tested it, and it matched to the rape and to the killings, and they were able to identify him through that somehow.
Yeah, but they still haven't matched, although they haven't been able to charge him for Sarah Spears because they never found it.
Yeah.
But how fucked up is it? I was thinking, imagine if that's your family member and this cunt won't
give it up. Yeah,
it's like, you've been caught red-handed. Give it away, like, so the family can have some peace. If that was my family member, I'd just be like, you'd never be able to move on. You know.
Well, just like, he's obviously a fucking horrible person. But just imagine, like, how many people has he killed that we don't know about? Because if he's willing to not even say, they know that he killed her, but he's not willing to say where her body is. Imagine how many people he's killed that he's not telling anybody about.
Man, in that podcast, after they start reading out all these people they believe to be linked, all like young girls, same sort of situation, but they can't. There's like 5 of them around that time.
Jesus, man, that's fucking
so
horrible.
And you know what's crazy? You know how we were talking about, like, why did he just stop? And
yeah, that's so weird.
And
yeah.
I was thinking, because he would have been around 20 at the time. Maybe he did all this fucked up shit, and then maybe he had a kid or something, and maybe because he had a kid,
had a daughter. Yeah,
maybe he tried to like just live a normal life. But it's like, no, cunt, you're one of the worst people on earth.
I'm not sure. See, one of the things with people like that is people are quick to assess them as monsters. Like people say, Hitler was a monster. You know, he wasn't a normal person. But you have to be careful there because they are normal people. Normal people can do those horrible things. But in this case, it seems weird that you would go on all these killings and then stop, because it's something that you hear with podcasts and documentaries and all, like FBI profiles and stuff. They always say they never stop. It's just they stop getting caught.
Yeah, they love it too.
Yeah.
Like once people usually go down that road, they just keep doing more fucked up things.
Yeah. It's actually, the Claremont killer was a spooky one for me. I had a friend in high school who lived in, was it Cudale? Kelmscott? I forgot. Cudale, where he was living. She lived across the fucking road from this guy for years. And when they arrested him, I saw, I'm not actually friends with her on Facebook. I saw it through somebody else commenting on it. And she'd basically just said that sometimes when her kids came home from school and they were locked out, they would go to his house to use the phone or wait for her to get home.
Yeah, that's
so her kids
fucked.
have been hanging out with this dude who used to kidnap and murder women.
Did he rape them? Because I never said that in an.
I don't know.
Like,
but again, if he raped that first girl all those years before, I would think maybe.
It's funny. I think there's still a lot of secrecy with that case. From what this podcast was saying, they set up an actual task force just to deal with that, and it was real secretive. Like, only the people in the task force were allowed to talk about it, and they were only allowed to talk about it in a few secure places. They weren't there. Like, if they talked about it at the pub, even between each other or wherever, they get kicked off the task force.
They probably didn't want information to get out that could, like, compromise.
Yeah.
Maybe they had, like, a lead and they were like, if this gets out and he hears it, he'll do a runner or something, yeah.
But yeah, they followed the guy around for ages. There's some dude that was, like, driving around Claremont all the time at just doing hell weird shit. And turned out it wasn't him. And he was just a bit of a weird
He's just a weird cunt.
Yeah. Man, but all these stories, man, I'm just like, how fucked up is it? You don't even consider that there was a serial killer like where we live. And there's all
a little bit before our time. Like, by the time we'd got moved to Perth, it was kind of already over.
Yeah. I remember seeing it on the news, hearing about it heaps. And that same one, that Peter Falconio one I was listening to.
Which one's that?
The Peter Falconio. I think they based Wolf Creek off that movie.
Is that the German guy you were talking about?
Nah, so the German guy was a different one. See, there's been so many fucking murders
Australia's
in the outback. Yeah, everyone's like,
if the fucking wildlife's not trying to kill you, some cunt with a fucking, fucked up teeth and a cowboy hat will be chasing you down in his ute.
And that fucked up laugh. He's like, he's like got that Al Stewart laugh. I reckon Al Stewart's probably doing that too.
I reckon Al Stewart is the Wolf Creek guy. Because they never caught that cunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be Alf Stewart.
Oh no, so they did.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, it's I thought that too, but they did, and the guy's in jail. They matched, but they never found the body of that Peter guy, and then people were trying to say that he had some debt and faked his own death and all this, but his blood was in the car, and and it took us because it was a while ago. It took a while to match the DNA because they didn't have fuck all DNA. Yeah.
It's crazy. Like we were talking about these the other day. There's another podcast that I like a lot called Cold Case Files, and it's with this American chick. So it's lots of it's American, but she talks about like obviously being cold case files. It's about cold cases, and it's really interesting. They go back and they look at historical cases as well. Like they do Jack the Ripper, the Black Dahlia murder. And they just use, like you said, all this new technology to try and figure out who the fuck these people were.
Do they get solved in that cold case one, or they not?
Most of them do, yeah. Obviously with the Black Dahlia and the Jack the Ripper ones, no. But the Jack the Ripper one's pretty interesting. They're pretty definitively sure that it was this Polish immigrant. I think he was a hairdresser. Yeah, I've forgotten his name.
Hectic.
But yeah, those are really good too, and it's interesting. Some of these cases she's looking at are from like 1960, and then, they invent this fucking DNA matching technology, and, in 2010 they go and arrest this fucking old woman for murdering her husband, Yeah, it's insane. But it's really cool because she talks to the victims' families and the sheriff that worked the case and all that, so it's really cool. And it's not, the reason I like that one over the other ones, like First 48 and everything, like most people know First 48. This one's like, it feels more like a podcast, like it's something that she does because she loves it. Whereas First 48's like, pew, 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 welcome to First 48. I'm your host.
Yeah, it's annoying. Like, well, hey.
Yeah. Every 10 minutes there's an ad, and you're like, fuck you, mate.
Yeah, and just the whole vibe that radio shit gives off annoys the fuck out of me. Yeah. So like today, I had my earphones in, and some cunt had the radio up, and it was a one Nova or something,
one of those generic shows,
and it's just grating
something in the morning with Kim and fucking whatever. They've all got these generic weird show names:
Heidi, Will, and Woody, and Dick, and fucking whatever their name. Yeah, and I love when they play snippets. They're like bit from the highlights of the week, and I'm like, that is the fucking lamest shit I've ever heard. You're playing the highlights. It's like, a highlight would be if you just all killed yourself.
Jesus.
And if you get offended over that, kill yourself. No, I'm joking.
You sure can't say that on the radio.
Hey, this is our podcast. We can be super offensive, and we don't actually mean that. That's a joke, so don't take that the wrong way.
Anyone who's still listening to this knows that it's a joke. I'm sure they would have been offended by pretty much everything we said by now. But yeah, so what's been what else is going on? Just band shit, work.
Yeah, cold. I got a cold, so that's why my voice. Well, it sounds more shit than normal.
You sound better today, actually. You sounded fucked yesterday.
Yeah. This beer's definitely clogging my nose, but it tastes fucking amazing.
Yeah,
I wanted to suck it back like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, so we've got a band shoot with Joe this weekend. Actually, it's not a band shoot. We're doing the actors this weekend, so that should be fun. We've got the script and everything ready.
Yeah, we've got some good actors lined up. It's going to be always a fun day. So we're doing it in 2 parts now. So we can't get our shit together to put a fucking date on the performance part.
It just was going to be too hard in one day. Joe suggested to split it up. We got this. We put an ad out for one of the actors. We needed a female actor, and for one of the roles because the clip has a bit of a story behind it. And this chick responded, and she actually went out of her way to message us on the band page and everything. And
yeah, because her profile wouldn't work on stuff.
Yeah, there's
we had a fair few messages, but
there's this weird fucking website. It's like Uber for actors. You just put an ad up, and they submit their thing. And so she actually personally messaged it to us, and she turned out to be super legend. She's helped us with everything.
Yeah, she's awesome. Yeah. I like her personality too.
She's really cool.
We should have her on one time, I think, after we put the video out.
Yeah, that would be cool, actually.
Her and Jaden on.
Yeah, because she's got like a shitload of experience doing like plays and stuff. Like she's rehearsing for Robin Hood at the moment, and she's done. I think she did one of them was Beauty and the Beast or something, and
Yeah.
so she's got a lot of experience under her belt. It'd be cool to hear about like that world because I don't know shit about that. It's something you don't really see advertised in Perth at all. Like when you go to Melbourne, there's all these places that advertise for like local productions and stuff, but you never hear about it over here, eh?
Well, only at Fringe, really, hey?
Yeah,
When
once a
Fringe
year
is
for
on.
like 2 weeks, whatever it is. A
6
month.
weeks, I
6
think.
weeks. Is it
Yeah.
six? Fuck me.
Man, it ended last weekend. I didn't get to go to. I didn't have one outdoor park beer. Not one.
Yeah, we were all right. So we were going to.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So after we had Ted on last week, shout out to Ted. He was a fucking awesome
Yeah,
guest,
he was
super
a legend.
and he actually hooked us up with tickets to the show. So that was fucking even like amazing of him. Being a uni student, I really appreciate that. So we went
Poor
down.
cunt.
Went down and checked out Circles because we'd heard of Circles, but we'd never seen them live. They've only been here once before, and they were fucking amazing.
Yeah, they killed it. That was a good show.
Their vocalist, dude.
Hey, where do you get off playing and that shit and singing at the same time, mate? Where do you get off?
He's like playing like Dream Theater riffs and singing like amazingly. I think the first song I turned around and looked at you and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that dude has an insane voice and his vocal ability is top notch.
Yeah, really good. Even Ted's vocals doing the backups were fucking sick, and their bass player does like the screaming. It's kind of like reminded me of like Maynard's scream from Tool. It's got like that Tool yell to it, and just as a band, they're fucking great. I definitely would check them out if you can. And then obviously Neo Obliviscaris headlined, and I've never seen them live either, but I'm a fan, and Josh had never really gotten into them. But yeah, they were just
that was sick. I like them.
Ridiculous. Hey, their drummer's got 8 feet.
That drummer. How much meth do you smoke before the show to keep that up? Honestly, how do you fucking do that?
It just
blew my
was
mind.
flat out for like they played for like an hour and a half too.
Yeah.
It was just flat out like 220 blasting and double kick the whole
I
time.
thought it was up at about 220,000 BPM. It's like it just sounds like one noise because it's so fast.
That was insane, eh? And the guy who does the violins and the clean vocals, man, like that's insane. Just what a fucking idea. Like, who would think that would work, eh? A violin player in like I guess they're kind of like European style tech death almost, or death metal.
It is a very European thing to have a violin or something like that. Have like a big band instrument, cello or...
Yeah. Drew actually said, because we saw Drew, who's been on as well, Drew from Make Way, for Man. We saw him at the show and he was like...
He actually went with us.
Yeah, he was there with us. Sorry, Drew. Go fuck yourself. He said before...
I think I saw him for a second there. He was here and then went with us.
But he was trying to explain to Josh what they were like before they came on. He was like, "Oh, they're like Opeth with violins," and that was pretty good description. I thought it was good, but yeah, they blew my asshole away.
Yeah, so he has no arsehole now, and he's got footage of his asshole being blown off by 10 blokes, just with their chops out, just blowing his asshole away.
Suddenly, I'm more interested. Go on. I've got half a bar here, actually. Can you tell me more?
I'm surprised you're sitting down today, actually. I thought you'd be standing up.
So yeah, we're actually going to go to Fringe when we came out of there because it was across the road. But by the time we got out of there, I mean, I was fuck-eyed at that point.
Yeah, I was blind. I had a terrible hangover the next day.
Oh my God. Yeah, we went to Alabama Song, got some chicken burgers. Get those if you never tried them. They're amazing. And yeah, so it was a bad day.
I am at this point probably addicted to them, and you might find me in an alleyway trying to crush that shit up and put it on a spoon and shoot it up my arm.
Shoot it up your ass.
I'm a fucking chick. Oh yeah.
If I can get an entire Alabama Song chicken burger into my Japai, will you let me inject it into your asshole? With my cock.
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes.
I'm glad we're clear here.
That sounds like a pretty good deal.
That actually sounds like workplace harassment.
Yeah, that's super aggressive.
But yeah, otherwise just band shit for me. Same thing. Back at uni this week, so
Yeah, how's that been?
just ordered some razor blades off the net. Hopefully they'll get here by the end of the week, and I can just end it all.
Yeah. Probably
Yeah,
not
it's
a
just-
bad idea.
It's like when you come back from holiday on anything, man. The first week, maybe 2 weeks, is so hard because I've had 4 months off. So yeah, it fucking sucks at the moment. I had to read nearly 400 pages this week.
Oh,
I got like 10 pages in, and I
I
was just contemplating
I don't think
suicide.
I've read 400 pages in my life.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it's cool. I got to go to It's kind of an interesting semester actually. I'm doing like
Sounds interesting. No, I'm kidding.
no, it's some of it certainly is like that. I'm doing contemporary Australian history, so it's like from World War One to now, and we're doing like British nuclear testing and stuff in Australia, which a lot of people have no fucking idea that they did that. So all that stuff's pretty interesting.
In Australia,
Yeah, the Brits tested all their nukes here.
not on Thousand Mile Island or Easter Island, wherever it was.
Nah. I think Thousand Mile Island's where the that famous footage of the American one with all the boats.
Yeah, the
around it.
hydro bomb. Man.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
that's
Well,
not far
all
from
nukes
here.
are
Though.
hydrogen bombs now. Yeah,
Yeah, that's not far from here though.
isn't it?
No, it's just off. What is it? East? No, not Easter Island. Fuck.
I wouldn't have a clue, man. I'm fucking terrible at geography.
It's like above sort of Timor.
Okay.
The Marshall Islands. That's what it's. The Marshall Islands.
Okay, right. Well, they probably tested in a bunch of places, but yeah, they did it quite a bit in Australia. Somebody's getting fisted.
Some
outside.
may have just got murdered. We may have another cold case or case file on our hands.
Welcome to the death penalty murder files.
Wait, I actually
I'm your host, Zane and Josh.
seen the Blunt and the Spencer. Yeah. Wait, that reminded me before when we're talking about martial arts. I read this.
When the fuck were we talking about martial arts?
The Marshall Islands, you dumb cunt.
All right, excuse me.
Yes.
This is a 7% beer. That's my excuse.
Yeah. 7.1. Thank you, sir. The Marshall Islands. This dude in Mexico, right? Just think about where this is. This dude in Mexico was fish. I don't know when this was, but he's written a book on it, and he's written like a. So that's hell putting me off those fucking dog cunts. I should have shut that door.
That's all right.
Yeah. So this guy is out in a fishing boat, and it was 2 or 3 guys. I think there was 2. They're in a fishing boat, and this hell storm comes in, and they just get washed out to sea, and their engine dies, and they're so far from the coast, their radio dies as well, so they're completely fucked, and they just end up drifting. They're drifting for so long, right, months, and then this one guy just basically.
What the fuck did they eat? Did they have shit on board?
They were eating anything, birds,
Each other's dicks?
each other's dicks.
Actually, we were talking about this the other day. This is going to sound super gay, but I'm pretty sure if you chop a dick off and fry it up, that shit's going to be nice and tender.
Yeah, it'd be that. It depends if you chop it off when it's hard, though. 'Cause it might be like a fucking rock. Cut it off and it's just a plank.
That's how they survived.
No, but one of the guys died, and like half, and the guy was, because he was just giving up. He's like, I can't do this, losing his mind. They'd been at sea for like months, and they were eating fish, birds, and they were getting food poisoning from the shit they're eating, and they were catching rainwater and stuff. And then this guy died, and then this guy just ended up by himself, and he was at sea for like 450 something days,
Fuck.
just drifting, and then he landed,
And he didn't eat the other guy.
No,
I would have ate that
he fucking
dude.
tossed the cunt overboard.
Oh man, I would have ate the shit out of that cunt.
Yeah. So this guy ends up, he lands on the Marshall Islands, and it's like 5,000 and something Ks he drifted for
Fuck.
in a fucking dinghy. This was not a big boat. This is a small,
Oh no shit.
small fucking boat.
Wow.
And this guy's written a book. I can't remember the name of it. I just read his story
Like,
online, and I was just like, that is the worst thing ever. Like,
literally my worst
but
nightmare.
that goes to show. Someone, I think it was Sam Harris or someone said about like how evolution doesn't give a fuck about quality of life. It's just survival, and he referenced putting someone in solitary confinement. Your quality of life is shit, but you still just survive. You still live. Your body's going to fight to the last moment. So
Yeah.
I think that guy's just proof to that. He's just the worst situation ever. Imagine not seeing land, because that stretch of ocean he was in between is like the biggest ocean.
Well, you would start losing it, I think, like mentally, surely. You would
But
start
yeah,
fucking
well, I
losing
think
it.
he had a lot of battles in him, like mental battles. He was talking about, but he's a Mexican dude.
Yeah, right. It's
Hang on,
like,
I'm gonna shut that fucking door.
yeah, go on.
All right, we're back. Couple urban gentlemen outside making
Some serious noise.
some serious noise.
What
playing.
I was going to say though, like about the Sam Harris thing, all that shit.
I don't know if it was Sam Harris. I can't remember. It was who's.
It was somebody. I think I heard the same thing, but yeah, biologically speaking, that's all your body cares about: surviving.
Crazy, hey?
All this other shit we've built is just cultural constructs.
It's funny also how people put such big importance on us, like on human beings. Religious people do it so much. Like, we're so special. We have a fucking plan. No, we're nothing. We're pieces of shit. We're just lucky that, we're conscious and we made.
Well, I mean, like that applies to that guy's struggle. Like, obviously, that's a horrible fucking thing to have to go through. It's like my worst nightmare because I'm fucking so scared of the ocean.
He probably wanted to neck himself, but there was nothing there to do it.
Maybe, and like you can't drown yourself. Your body won't fucking let you. Just like your survival reflex. You. I mean, I guess people probably have.
He did say he wanted to die.
Yeah, you would. I mean, probably. Like a month in, when the hunger is fucking horrendous, you probably just want it to end.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just like take all the hunger, the dehydration, the mental shit out of that, and think about how fucking brutal it is to be on a dinghy with no shade. Think about the sun, man. Just the sun alone.
You'd have to collect some shit and try and make a little awning for yourself.
It'd just be horrific, eh?
Yeah, there's so many levels to that story. You're just like a year and a half.
Yeah, that's fine.
Think about how long a year and a half is every fucking day. Like, that's insane. And this guy survived, and he's written a book in that now. And he winds
Do you know
up
what the book's called?
I can't remember, man. It was a couple years ago I read that.
We'll have to check that out. I got a few credits on Audible that I need to burn.
Yeah, it'd actually be cool if you could get an audio book of that and have a listen.
Yeah. I was going to say too, like, how you're like, oh, religious people, everybody has a purpose, but that nature doesn't give a fuck. You'd be in Africa and you're like on a fucking mission there trying to convert some people, and you're like, excuse me, guys, have you heard the word of Jesus? And then a lion comes out of the bush. Yeah. Excuse me, children, do you know the word? Yeah.
Do you know the word of that? Have you heard about that? Okay, on to the next guy.
Catching a boat across to the next village to try and proselytize, and a hippo just goes, yeah, cool, Jesus, check out this giant mouth you're about to go down.
Have you seen me big fucking molars? I'm going to put them through you dog cunt. Oh,
but then there's another level.
Well,
to
Jesus can save you from a fucking giant hippo mouth then.
Yeah, instead of turning water into wine, turn a hippo into a bunny so I can get my uneaten out ass out of here. But there's so many levels to that too. Like, nature doesn't care, and you scale that up. You think everybody's got this divine purpose in life. You think the universe cares?
Yeah, does not care.
Does not care.
I love thinking
it's so self-absorbed. We all have a purpose, and we're all made by this person who loves us and cares if you jerk off, and who cares if you stick your dick in another man's butt. And
that's one thing I like. Being brought up religious, I think about so much as an adult. And also another thing to me that's crazy, I only found out recently, so when you actually think about the size of the universe,
you can't.
I only found out about the filaments, and I found out about that, and I was like,
explain what that is.
So it's the biggest known structure in the universe. And so we have our galaxy is in a cluster of galaxies, and there's actually a map you can look at of the galaxy clusters. And our Milky Way is a tiny speck in this huge map. And you think about how long is it? I think to get to it's like 100,000 light years just to get it to the nearest side from Earth of our Milky Way, just to get
fuck
across
it.
something.
How big is? I don't know off the top of my head, honestly.
So that's I think it's something like that. Anyway, I think about 100,000.
I don't think it's that far because the nearest star is like 4 light years away. Alpha Centauri, I think.
Yeah. Well.
Anyway, yeah.
Anyway, it's huge, but yeah, our galaxy it'd have to be the 100,000 light years across, or however many. That's a year at the speed of light times whatever. And then so there's galaxy clusters.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, it's 100,000 light years across.
100,000. Yeah.
We need a fucking Jamie. Hey, somebody come and do an internships and bring shit up for us.
We're useless. Yeah. So there's a cluster. There's our galaxy in a galaxy cluster, and then there's clusters of galaxy clusters, and then there's filaments. So if you think about how big that is, it just blew. I think the longest filament is 1 billion light years across.
You're just approaching numbers that nobody's brain can even understand, though.
Yeah, so it's 1 billion years at the speed of light to get across. You would have to travel to get across this.
It's actually, I think it's more than that. There's 60. The average size is 60 megaparsecs, and a megaparsec is 32,615,000 light years across.
Oh.
So they're 50 times that is the average size. Yeah, good.
So that kind of shit. Like,
this is why I do archaeology. I can't deal with this many numbers.
Yeah, it's great. It's beyond. You have to be balls deep in that. Your whole life has to. But that's why you pick the brains of people that are, and then they dumb it down for you, and then you can go, I understand kind of now. But that blew my mind. I just thought. Think about the size of the universe. We can't even get out of our own fucking. Well, we did. We sent one thing out of our solar system. 2 things, sorry. And that took so fucking
I don't think the other
long.
one's left yet, has it? Voyager 2?
Wasn't it?
No, I don't think so.
Well, we sent one thing out of our solar system. That's the biggest achievement. Our solar system's nothing when our galaxy's a speck in a cluster of galaxies of a cluster of galaxies. And then there's the galaxy filaments. I was just like, well. If you think you're important, have a look at that and then come back and tell me how fucking important you are. Like it can relate to anything in life. It keeps me like grounded sort of, or it keeps me, it can bring you some perspective sometimes, about anyone in the world that may treat you like shit or think they're important or whatever. We're nothing. And there'd be people all over the galaxy that think or the galaxies or the universe.
There's got to be something out there. I think if you don't think there's something else out there
you're
like
an
us,
idiot.
You're ignorant. Like it's maybe there's nothing else, but there's got to be. Maybe not at the same time as us, but in the past or in the future, there's got to be other life.
The universe is too fucking big for there not to be someone even at the same time. Like it's when there's like I can't comprehend that, man. Did you ever see that photo that they've taken of some of the universe's first galaxies? It's on the other side of the universe. And there was this real dark spot they noticed, and they zoomed in. They took it with a Hubble telescope, and there's like a few galaxies in this little cluster. And they reckon that they're 14 billion years old, and the universe is 14.3 billion years old. And they reckon these are 14 billion years old, and they're strange because they say they're way too large.
They're too young and too large.
Yeah. Then I was looking at it and I was like, holy shit, I'm actually looking at a fucking photograph of something that's 14 billion years old and on the other side of the universe.
Yes and no. You're looking at an artist's rendition of something because the light from that far away doesn't actually make it to us as photons. It makes it to us as microwaves.
Yeah.
So, they interpret that and they give you the best guess. And people fucking use this as like a excuse that NASA's some kind of big conspiracy, like, oh, fucking...
No, they are.
Oh, okay. The Earth's flat?
No, didn't you hear?
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
But I was going to say, man, like the life thing, not just the universe, just in our solar system. Like those rovers on Mars have definitive proof that there's water there.
Yeah,
And
rivers and riverbeds and...
Exactly. They look exactly like dried up riverbeds on Earth. And not only that, Mars has a polar cap. So there's water there. It's just frozen. So at one point, Mars must have had an atmosphere for it to have water on it to start with, because it had running water. So Mars was warm enough for water to be liquid.
Well, it's in the Goldilocks zone.
Yeah,
Mars,
it is. Yeah. So all it needs is an atmosphere, and it's Earth. It's literally Earth. And everything we know about life is that if it can survive, it will. So it might just be a case of getting to Mars, drilling into that ice and finding some weird fucking fish that's just frozen in the fucking ice.
If we find stuff frozen in the permafrost, there would be shit frozen in that. Surely some kind of bacteria even.
Yeah, because there's like, they've found now that the permafrost and shit's starting to melt.
There's like hectic bacteria.
Yeah, they found this bacteria that's like, hundreds of millions of years old, and they're like, well, we don't know what it's going to fucking do to us if it gets out.
Yeah, I read that. They're worried it's going to fuck us up.
Yeah, so like, think Mars has been frozen for how fucking long? All we need to do is send a couple, 1-2 Eskimos up there to go fucking ice fishing, and we'll pull out some crazy ass fucking fish.
Just go to Greenland, get a couple random Eskimos. Sorry, boys, you're going to Mars. It's probably more habitable than where you're living anyway, so...
Yeah, for real. Instead of everything white, it will just be red.
Also, Greenland, why you call Greenland?
Everything's white, dogs.
Swap names with Iceland now.
That always pissed me off when I was a kid. I'm glad you brought that up.
I think it pissed every kid off, because when you found out, you saw a picture of Greenland and saw a picture of Iceland, you're like,
you just start silently fuming.
Yeah, who fucking did this? Yeah, but space. Oh man, space blows my mind. I wish I had a million years to live so I could say, especially with all these shows coming out like Altered Carbon and all these shows that are like so far in the future, and everyone's we've colonized other planets, and I'm like, fuck, I want to see this shit.
Have you seen
Freeze me?
I think I asked you this already. You haven't watched
Put me in the permafrost.
The only way an Eskimo will pull you out the permafrost is if he cut a hole and hung his long fat dick down in the hole.
And I'm just like, give me that fat dick.
You come flying out of that hole super fast, like Superman. You can't. No, I was going to ask you. There's a fucking show on Netflix. I can't think of what it's called. Oh, The Expanse. You haven't watched that, have you?
No.
Yeah. See, it's kind of like starts a little bit low budget.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, like the CGI and stuff's not great, but
it looked like that fucking movie with what was that? Sorry, I'm going off topic here. The Scientology movie with John Travolta, and it's just the worst shit ever. Like I saw
fucking Battlefield Earth.
Battlefield Earth. I saw it the other day. I actually watched the whole thing because I was so intrigued. I was like, what the fuck are you doing, John Travolta?
Way to fucking ruin a legacy, eh? Like, think about
Face Off.
There's a couple of actors out there that you can pretty confidently, if you know nothing about a movie they're in, you can pretty confidently go to the cinema and watch it and know it's going to be a good movie. Like Will Smith is a pretty good actor. He's had one or two that weren't great, but he's never been in a bad movie. And John Travolta was one of those people until Battlefield.
Yeah, because that's not even bad. It's like, what have you done?
It's so bad. It's next level bad.
Oh, like the costumes and everything. I was like, that is the fucking worst shit I've ever seen. No,
it's funny too because it has like a really cult following. Because the book, I can't think of who wrote it now.
It's L. Ron Hubbard.
It was, yeah. That book in particular has quite a cult following. Like, it's the one that people say, that's actually a good book.
L. Ron Hubbard started a
cult? No, outside of Scientology, I mean. What do you mean? Are you implying that religion's a cult?
Yeah, hey, let's get this straight right now. Let's get this straight. And I'm going to imply whatever the fuck I want to everyone. I'll tell you something. Someone told this to me and it's fucking true. The only difference between religion and cults is that in religion, their leader's dead. And I'll go as far as to say something else. All religion's a cult. Fuck you.
No, that's true, actually.
Hey, I've been in one. I was brought up in one.
Yeah.
Cult.
If anyone would know, it would be you.
Yeah. Cult.
Yeah,
hey,
definitely.
Cult.
Especially
Cult.
the one you were in.
Yeah, let me tell you something about that one. Cult. Let me tell you something about all the other ones I've heard about. Cult.
Okay, but what about
Cult.
Christian? Okay, but what about Judaism?
Cult.
All right.
Cult. Yeah. Cult.
Okay, but
Scientology.
no. There's this other one you might have heard of that. I don't know if you Islam.
That's a cult, sir.
Okay,
Hey, if you're Islamic, you think God's real? He ain't. You're in a cult.
All right, but there's got to be one. What about paganism?
It's cold, but it's kind of cool. Hey, I'm down with that.
It's cold, but it smells like armpits.
Yeah.
It smells like armpits and shitty crystals.
Yeah, but at least paganism came up with some cool science. Like you see all the pagan artwork and all their what are the pagan symbols? The pagan symbols look badass. They look metal as fuck.
They're kind of like runes almost.
Yeah. They look. It's that Blair Witch shit.
Yeah,
it's witchcraft.
Yeah. A lot of that pagan stuff is in Christianity because of the old Constantine. There was a civil war in the city, and it was pagans versus the Catholics. And on his deathbed, he basically invented Christianity, which merged paganism and Catholicism.
He's about to die, and he's like, I've got to do something the people are going to remember me for. Jesus, God, Jesus died on a cross. He 3 days he was dead for, and then got resurrected.
Well, he's remembered it as this great fucking Christian Catholic figure, and on his deathbed he converted to Christianity, which was like a week old at the time. So, I mean, that's
He's
always.
Like, I'm going to start a new religion that doesn't molest boys. And then, like, if he was alive today, he'd be like, "Oh shit, they
fucked up there."
Oh no, well that didn't go the way I planned.
Well, maybe it did. Maybe that was his move all along.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just for me, it's when I pretty much learnt where religion comes from, and it's all just been based on power struggles and. I mean, that's all it really is, power struggles, men trying to get power.
Manipulation, techniques to just manipulate people and keep the peace. Even they say the Constantine invented it to keep the peace between, in Rome, between the Christians and the...
Yeah, I think it was Rome. I don't remember exactly, pretty sure it was Rome.
Yeah, because they had a lot of poverty when the Roman Empire started falling apart too.
Yeah, shut the bed. Started falling apart. But it always seemed weird to me, just pretty much it was like, so some guy told some dude on a mountain a bunch of rules, and then 300 years later they wrote a book about it, and that's the word of God. Oh yeah, cool, sounds good to me. Even when I was like 6, I was like, yeah, you're lying.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny that, I suppose if you are not, like Laura said the same thing, like her mum, she said would even let her go and talk to people if they knocked on the door or whatever and make her own mind up.
Yeah, my parents were very much the same.
Which is interesting. Obviously a different childhood than me. I found that out in the...
Yeah.
Hey.
I can see how you get stuck in it when you... It's like any... And it's not just religion either. How many people do you know that are raised by a certain type of people, as in bogan, redneck, whatever, and they're 15 and they're racist, they don't believe in education, and they're just, and you think there's no hope for them, and then they leave that hometown and all of a sudden they change their mind and no longer racist fucking degenerates. It's just who you grow up with. It's all cultural,
Yeah, I think I showed it to you. You know that video that video I showed you the other day, that there was a Jehovah's Witness video.
Oh my god, that's so fucking weird.
And I was watching
the one about jerking off.
Oh, I was just like, has this gotten weird, or did I just not notice when I was a kid? Because I thought it was fucking shit anyway. But, you just pass off all the fucking things that are getting said and that. And
when you're in it, it's hard to see,
Yeah, well, I never really listened. I had ADD, so everything went in one ear and out the other anyway.
Still does, you cunt.
Yeah, that's true. But also, I saw they're like, yeah, don't masturbate, this, and then you're like, How good's drinking beer and partying and girls and
no, here's the main thing. If you're religious and you're like, nobody jerk off, nobody have sex with girls, don't drink beer, don't listen to devil music, whatever it is, and then you come for the first time and you're like, oh, this is way better than church.
Oh, but everyone fucking jerks off in church. I was watching that video and these cunts are telling people not to jerk off. And it's talking some weird shit about like sitting on your mate's lap and getting a boner or something. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? They are literally relating their own story. These two old cunts, and they're just raging about it.
They're like, what if a brother and another brother masturbate and they look at each other while they masturbate? And I was like, these cunts are just listing off their fantasies.
Yeah, I like they're listing off what they did. They did it. They were frothing. And then at the end, they were like, fuck, I can't believe you made me do that. And the other one was like, you made me do it. And they're like, that's it. No wanking. No wanking ever. Let's go and tell the whole church, no wanking.
Well, that's essentially what it is. They're just trying to deny their, what they feel. I guess because they think, I don't know. Is it maybe they're brought up in religion and maybe they're gay and they don't, because of what they've been taught, they don't know how to deal with that. So they push back. Because those are always the people that are like,
hell raging.
Yeah, like, oh, gay people are so wrong. And then they get caught in a motel balls deep in their fucking best mate's ass. You know what I mean? It's always those guys.
In a seedy motel.
Yeah, it's always those fucking guys that are hell outspoken against something that are into it.
Do you reckon he like rings up his mate and he's like, oh, I might book us a nice 5-star hotel so we can butt fuck each other. And he's like, nah, get that cheap, dirty motel on the outskirts of town. Yeah, get that one with a half-broken vacancy sign.
Because it's always like a rich
your asshole.
It's always like a rich minister or something that could easily afford like a nice hotel, and they get the shitty motel and all of these just dick, butt lube and cockroaches.
Yeah. So, some motel where the pool's drained and there's fucking leaves everywhere. Like
couple dead bodies.
Yeah, couple hookers in the corner.
Gay hookers, for sure. Gay hookers.
Oh yeah, they ring up and they're like, "Hey, I'm coming to butt fuck me, mate. It's super secretive. No one's allowed to know I'm butt fucking him. And also, if there's any dead hookers, you better make sure they're gay dead hookers in the corner because I'm all about that butt fuck."
At the end, what was your name, sir? Oh yeah, my name is Minister Josh Spencer. They always fucking use their names. They're fucking retarded. It's so stupid.
Shit, I've been sprung. I'm actually a minister. I'm a Jehobo cop. Minister.
Jehomo cop.
That's actually a great name for them. They're just going around. They're actually dressed as RoboCop, but they got a machine gun. They knock on your door, and if they find out you're gay, you just hear. You hear the gun light starting up. You're like, I'm sorry. I love God.
Yeah, except instead of a Gatling gun with bullets, it's a Gatling gun full of dildos.
They just blast you with a bunch of 12-inch black dildos, and you wake up an hour later with all bruises all over you. You're like, what the fuck did they just do to me? They just gunned me down with a fucking Gatling gun full of dildos.
I'm so erect.
Yeah, I'm hard. That's why you got your legs crossed up.
It is actually. It's always well.
I'm just like fucking. I'm 670.
Well, it's because you got a baby's dick.
Yeah,
it doesn't show up.
It's a hot baby's dick though. Baby dick. Yeah. So we got off track there. We're slamming religion. We need to slam them a little bit more.
I mean, it's not like they don't deserve it.
Yeah. Here's another cringe-worthy thing I saw last week. And yet, Jehovah's Witnesses, you're going to get picked on this week, so suck shit. You deserve it. I saw they had a little booth set up at O Week at UWA. That's the University of Western Australia. People that
the orientation week,
an orientation week, O Week, so they had a booth set up, this big booth, and just this chick I used to know put up a video and pictures, and I was like, oh god damn it, I was like, what are you doing? Like UWA,
she's still in it, is she?
Yeah, it's funny because she was like none of us, everyone sort of fucked it off, and when we were all younger, we had all moved up here and partying and whatever. I suppose there's a few people that maybe couldn't stop the party life and needed a reason to stop or whatever.
Oh yeah, because you said she was in it and then she got out of it and went back, right?
No, I think we were all just brought up in it, so you in that religion, it ain't a choice.
Yeah.
You basically...
I mean, it is, but you just don't have the capacity to make the choice to get out when you've been brought up in it.
Yeah, well, you just do what your parents
essentially
do.
Indoctrinated. It's brainwashing. It's what it is. I think it was Richard Dawkins, who I don't usually like to quote because he can be pretty abrasive.
I like Richard Dawkins.
I don't mind him. He says some dumb shit sometimes, though. For a very smart man, he says some dumb shit. But he says in one of his books, if people raised children without religion, there would be no religion in one generation.
Oh, yeah, I've heard him say that.
Yeah.
It's so fucking true
because everyone's just fed it when they're kids, and like I said before, you believe it because you're so young and impressionable, and you end up growing up like that.
It's a hard thing to get out of because of that, though, having it drilled into your head. And what I found, I don't know if anyone else out there was brought up religious or is thinking about it. Don't.
Nah, definitely no one else in the world's been brought up religious.
Yeah, that's true. But fuck, what was I going to say?
Something stupid.
Yeah, alternate stupid anyway. I've lost my train of thought. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
This whole thing actually came about, I was trying to say, speaking about future planet space travel shit.
Hey, don't bring it back yet.
Watch The Expanse. It's fucking awesome. It's set in the future, and essentially Earth has colonized Mars, and they're trying to terraform Mars. But Earth actually has colonized the outer asteroid belt, and they mine those asteroids for minerals and fresh water, because comets are covered in fresh water. That's why they glow in the sky. That's actually the water burning up. Yeah, there you go. A little bit of education. I'm not as dumb as we look.
Yeah.
And essentially these have turned into three factions that are warring against each other. So it's really cool because I honestly think that is what would happen, because no matter what, we're always going to find something to fucking argue about. Like, we just shit on religion for fucking 20 minutes, but if we didn't have...
Hey, I ain't done yet.
If we didn't have religion to divide us, we would fucking find something else. Like, it's either religion, the two things people say never talk about with your friends and family: religion, politics. If it's not religion, it's I'm left wing, I'm right wing. Well, we can't be fucking friends anymore. People just find something, even with...
That's just fucking retarded. That's a stupid mentality too. That's actually one problem with religious people, especially the one I was brought in. They use tactics to keep people from having conversation so their mind can never be changed. There's a lot of tactics they use, and conversation is why we're here. It's why we're in a good spot. We'll never get anywhere without conversation,
I think that exact tactic it's not just home to religion, though.
Oh, no.
Those exact things are home to right wing, left wing, whatever libertarian, whatever camp people choose. They're not willing to have conversation. Like, some people are. There's that meme that's going around. I believe in gun ownership. Changed my mind. Have you seen that guy?
No.
He was on Joe Rogan's podcast, actually. He goes to universities and he sets up a table, and it's got a big sign on it, and it says something, controversial that people are talking about. At the moment, it's gun control because of the Florida thing. But he says something like, I don't believe in abortion, change my mind. That's what the sign says. And then there's two chairs there. He sits on one, and then people sit down and they actually talk to this guy. I mean, that takes huge balls. He's put his brain on the line. He's like mentally challenging people in a place like a university, where you would think that people would be more well versed than the general public, but you'd be wrong if you watch a lot of his videos.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of people just say, I think that's wrong. Women should be able to choose, and then he gives counterpoints, and
women should be able to choose.
Yeah, should be able to choose anything to do with their body. And
what? Is he talking about abortion?
Well,
he's talking about guns.
It's gun control. It's abortion. He does it all the time, man. It changes.
Oh, what? He's just a real right wing guy.
I think people call him right wing, but he's not. I wouldn't say he's completely right wing. He believes in healthcare and universal.
See, look, it's so fucking retarded. Like, people always say this, how people have to pick a side. It's like,
that's what I was getting
everyone
at, yeah.
should just be middle of the road. Pick what you like from either side and be that. Why the fuck do you? Because like you always have to compromise yourself to get on a side.
Well, that's what I was getting at.
Sorry,
like,
I ruined it.
No, it's fine. That's what I was getting at. Was that people do the same thing in religion. I'm Christian. I'm Islamic. Whatever it is, you both believe in a God that, for all we know, doesn't exist. There's no proof. I have no reason to believe it. But you pick a camp and and then you change your views to suit that camp. People do it with right wing, left wing, gun control, abortion camps. They even do it with fucking music, man. People are like, I'm a death metal guy, so I fucking hate clean singing.
Yeah,
I'm a
it's true,
deathcore
man.
guy, so if it doesn't have breakdowns, that's fucking shit music. Or and even broader, I listen to metal, so I hate Justin Bieber, even though you've probably fucking never heard a Justin Bieber song.
Well, I think the best people are going to be well versed in as many things as possible.
Yeah.
Why is it good to just be you'll live your life in a niche market? Hey, no matter what it is, the more things you know, the more people you know, everything. Your life just gets better, in my opinion.
Well, I think it's a couple of things. Like, people are inherently tribal for obvious reasons, because that's how we got here, working together. That's the reason we're the dominant
leaves
species.
over our dicks, walking around the jungle picking berries.
I mean, if you walk around the jungle butt naked with no technology, you're going to get fucked up. The first animal that sees you is going to kill you.
Hey, and the first guy with a rock hard boner that hasn't had a fuck in a while,
he's going to fuck you.
You bend over to pick up some berries, you might wind up with a fucking long, hard dick up your ass.
You're going to get speared, and not by a wooden spear. Big black Congolese dick. But yeah, it's true, man. Like, everybody's so. Was that the right plural?
I hope it wasn't, because it's so fucking.
I hope it was.
Are you Congolese? Is that a black Congolese dick?
I think I just combined Congolese and Chinese. I just combined Congo and Chinese together and went with it.
I am triggered, sir. You've offended me.
Well, it's interesting too. Congo actually, I think, holds the record for the average largest penis, and China holds the record for the smallest.
So what you said then was just an average penis? Both of them together, just an average sized penis?
Just a black dude with a
chode,
slightly smaller than average dick.
I reckon because those two, like, if they bred together, the small dick and a big dick, it'd have to make a chode. Like a hell wide one that's only like 1 mil long. Looks like a fucking top of a cupcake.
I've seen
muffin top.
I've seen an actual chode in real life. It's not pretty. It's not pretty.
If you have a chode, I pity you.
It was in football, actually. I used to play football in the showers, and this is the only time I ever showered.
I know where
football.
this. No, I don't know where this is going.
This is the one time I showered at football.
So the one
Two
time
things happened to me. Got mask. No, I didn't get mask fucked. Unfortunately. Two things happened to me. The captain of the team ran around slapping his dick on everybody's ass.
How do I sign up for this football team?
And this other guy that I played with had the weirdest fucking dick I've ever seen. Like, it was micro penis. Like, I remember looking at it and not being able to take my eyes off it.
Just enamored by the cupcake dick, by the chode.
It was like a train wreck. You want to look away because it's horrific, but you can't take your eyes off it. All I could think the entire time was, how do you piss with that? Because it's not long enough to grab hold of.
Do you reckon he has to use one of those fucking cups that they invented for chicks to be able to piss on the side of the road? He has to carry one of those with him.
Well, this was quite a while ago. I don't think they existed, but
you know what?
Yeah.
I looked at that fucking cup that they invented, and I'm like, hey, that's just a fucking snow cone cup with the bottom cut off.
It is.
How did that only just get invented? Surely a chick was like eating a snow cone one time and was like, hey, I need a piss. I'm going to piss in this cone-shaped thing and cut the bottom off and direct my piss away from my feet.
You can, chicks can pee standing up. It's not, you don't need to buy a fucking...
Unfortunately, I have seen it.
Yeah, same.
And ruined my life. Hey, ruined my life. May turn gay now.
Yeah. How the fuck did we get on that? Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Tribal.
Did you just take the Lord's name in vain?
Jesus. fucking
Oh,
Christ.
no, that's the second time I've been triggered on this
Triggered.
podcast. Hey, what I was saying before was, if you are brought up in a religion, I just remembered, so to go off topic again. If you're brought up in a religion, right, this is why it's so hard for kids, and you're indoctrinated and you leave. A lot of people leave without reconciling in their mind if they believe it or not, or leave before they're an adult. You know, I left before I was an adult. You don't really know shit about life. And then a lot of people, when they start to ponder, you may party, you do whatever, when you start to ponder life, the first thing to do when you've been indoctrinated as a child is to turn back and look to that for answers, because
when life gets hard, you mean?
yeah, when you get done with things, you know, and you look, that's the first thing you're gonna look back to, and it's easy to get roped into it, and then you have to go back and whatever, do your stint in it, and maybe you'll never get out of it. Maybe you just get fully convinced. Like, I know people like that, and I obviously was lucky enough to come to my senses, but you know, like if it's all you've ever known, and then they have these techniques that once you're in, that you get cast out and you get like reprimanded basically if you talk to other people that aren't in the church, and it's like, man, like, not only is that, but like you'll never escape that religion, but you are robbed of life. Like, one of the best things when I left, like, you know, when I got away from that, was just opening my life to anyone and just meeting it. I was finally like, because I never felt like that was me. I was like, this is fucked. This isn't me. It holds me back from being who I am.
It's so weird. Like, you can't talk to people just because they're not in your religion.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, it's fucking crazy, man. And then I went to Japan. Like, I fucked it off, and I went to Japan. I was just like, had the best time of my life. And I remember just from that, because I always was a person, I would meet people. I never could stick to that. I always had other friends. I only did it for a couple of years or whatever before I realized. But yeah, and then like that is the best thing, and for anyone listening that may be going through that or whatever, that is the best gift you'll ever get, opening your life and your heart to anyone you ever meet. You know, like, someone's like I met this girl in Japan, and she said, come to Sweden. Like, she's a Swedish girl, come to Sweden and hang out. And I was like, why the fuck not? And I just came home, and I went there like 4 months later, and I met some people and just still held, like, you know, really close friends with today. I ended up dating her for a while or whatever. But some of the best shit ever in my life, just because you just go, fuck it, let's do this. Let's just meet whoever, you know. And that's one of the best things you can ever do in life, hey?
Yeah. That's it, man. If you're in a religion, ask questions. You'll quickly find out that you're not allowed to.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll lead you down a interesting path.
Ask questions about anything if you're doing anything in life, hey?
Yeah, well, that's it, yeah.
Anyone that shuts down conversation is an idiot.
Yeah, well, it's because they don't know the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to know the answer. That's another thing a lot of other people feel.
Yeah.
Is they need to know the answer to fucking everything. Oh, it's embarrassing not knowing the answer, but it's not.
Well, that's because of the way we're trained with school. If you fail something, you're a loser, or you don't know the answer to this question, you're a loser. And people take that into life, you know. That's why you get people who make up these weird lies. You ask them something and they make up some weird lie. Like, sometimes it's something stupid, like, hey man, you said a new Game of Thrones episode? Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, it was really, really good one.
Yeah, they don't elaborate. Yeah,
you just give your whole general, yeah, you know.
And then you explain, how good's this part? And they're like, what about this bit?
And everybody's guilty of it. I've done it. I mean, everybody does it.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
But it's because it's how we're taught to, you know, not knowing is like the biggest fucking sin.
It's afraid of rejection too, hey? That there's something in us of being, like, that's, you're afraid of people going, you don't know, or being belittled or something. I think everyone in some way has that in them a little bit. You know, as you get older, it goes, but you know, it's that pack mentality. You want to be a part of the pack. I
don't know. I think some people, as they get older, it gets worse. Like, for me, when I was younger, it was the exact opposite. I couldn't give a fuck what anybody thought about anything. But as I've got older, I've sort of developed my empathy muscle, I guess. I care more about my effect on other people more than ever. And I'm,
Is the hell dog cunt when you were young?
oh
It's
man,
the
I was a
DC.
fucking piece. I'd done some fucking dog act shit. I tell you, man.
Go on, lay it out. Hey, it's the honesty hour. Let's go.
The honesty hour, nah. I need to piss like a racehorse.
I do too.
So
Actually, yeah.
take a piss. We'll come back, talk about this beer because I'm ready to talk about this beer.
And then we got some shit that's been going down this
There's
week to
there's
talk
a lot
about.
this week, so we'll go through that. And yeah, we're back real soon.
All right, we're back.
We are back. Pissed hard, man. Pissed
hard. Good piss.
I was holding on so much that it was actually painful though.
I actually had 2 pisses.
Yeah, same. Yeah. Same.
Just to make sure I could stick this one out, get all that piss out of me. Hey,
Yes.
now let's address something that's going on right now. We're drinking these nice beers. I have a fridge full of nice beers.
You do actually.
I offer you a beer, turn it down, reaches for the, what is that thing? O'Brien's?
Well,
Hang on.
a
Isn't O'Brien's a fucking window shield company? Don't they replace your fucking window when you get a cracked screen?
well, I hope they come and replace my taste buds because this is a fucking gluten-free pale ale and it's disgusting.
Hey, maybe they could put some tinting over your fucking tongue so you got no taste buds.
Oh, it's so foul.
Just
No, I would have taken one of your delicious beers because you've got a cherry ripe beer in there.
It does
Looks pretty
taste like
nice.
cherry, right?
But why don't you tell everyone how much that 12-pack of beer you bought cost you?
It was 16, but it was $100.
$100 for 16 beers. Unbelievable. The guy at the counter talked you into it too.
Yeah, he
He's
did.
like, hey man, if you get another 6-pack, it'll be slightly cheaper.
Well, what actually happened was I left home, right? And I pulled out of my driveway and he had a pair of binoculars from his place a mile away and he spotted me from a mile away, saw me coming, and he's
Changed
like,
all the labels on the beer.
yeah, but speaking of O'Brien's, I don't know if it was them, but do you remember that shit ad back in the day where it was like, show us your tints? It was like,
Oh, I don't. Man, you couldn't get away with that
fucking
now.
terrible.
Imagine if somebody had that ad now. They would get roasted
the
on
social
media.
justice warriors would be like, hey, if you're a social justice warrior, fuck you.
Aggressive.
Yeah.
Let's talk about these beers. I've been waiting.
Hey,
to
let me
try
change the
this beer.
subject again.
Oh no, I'm on board with you. Fuck the social justice shit. I just
No, I
want to talk
said
about
let
this
me
beer.
change it again because you tried to say about 3 times and I've.
Oh right, yeah, you're a cunt. I'm used to it already. See, I didn't even notice because I'm just used to it.
Get
I'm
mum.
being personally attacked.
I'm
Get
being
mum.
I'm being persecuted. Persecution.
No, I've wanted to try this beer forever. The Hop Nation
Chapside Juice.
Jedi Juice, for obvious reasons. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so I was attracted just by
Wait,
that.
he actually went and watched Star Wars, 4,000 times when it came out? I was like,
Which one?
Well,
Force Awakens.
everyone. I just remember, like, not the last one, the one before.
Yeah, the Force
I think
Awakens.
we had band practice, and you're like, oh, I went and watched that new Star Wars last night, and then I talked to you like the next day, and I'm like, what are you up to? And you're like, oh, I'm at the movie watching Star Wars at the movies, and I was like, did you see it last night? And you were like, yeah, I've got about another 4,000 to go. Yep.
Well-
Just got to watch them all. I've got to watch all the sessions.
All right, well, before I explain myself, let me start with, I grew up on Star Wars. I was either watching Star Wars or Indiana Jones when I was a kid. Went through a bit of a die-hard phase there too. That was weird. But I went to this cinema and watched the prequels, which everybody hates now, but at the time I fucking loved. I still liked them.
Are those the first ones? They were
No, the prequels, like the ones with Jar Jar Binks and all that, yeah.
terrible.
See, I
Terrible.
liked them. I was 12 at the time, and I was just happy that there's new Star Wars, you know?
Man, I'm right with you. I fucking loved Star Wars so much when I was younger, but those ones, terrible.
As you grow up, yeah, you're kind of like, yeah, no, I get it. These are
No,
bullshit.
at the time.
Oh, well, that's because you're 800 years older than me, so you were,
Hey,
Now, how old were you when they came out? 15?
I think it was about 46.
Yeah. No, but here's the thing with the prequels is everybody says the Phantom Menace is dog shit because of Jar Jar Binks, right? Everyone's like, oh, the first one's so bad. You're wrong. The second one is so shit.
Hey, all three of them are so shit. And hey,
Nah.
Lee Reader, is that what you were doing when you had the rat? He was acting in that. Hey, Reader. He was
He's playing Obi-Wan
Yeah.
with the rat stuff. No, the third one is legitimately good with the battle between Obi-Wan and Anakin on...
Yeah.
Don't give me that face, cunt.
Yeah,
Hey,
well, it
what's
was.
that face?
Yeah.
What face is that?
I'm agreeing. It's the agreeing with you face for sure. It definitely is.
No, but so I saw all those at the movies. I think the last one came out when I was 16. And I was like, that's it.
Sorry.
What are you doing? Was that your movie critic
I was
sip?
having a sip of
Was that your IMDb sip?
Was
Was that your Rotten Tomatoes sip?
That was me definitely agreeing with that. They were awesome, those movies.
All right, let's move on. Anyway, I saw the last one and I was like,
I thought you were going to move on from trying to tell me.
No. We're getting back to Jedi Juice. Just bear with me here. The way everybody responded to those prequels, I was like, there's no way there'll ever be Star Wars again. Everybody fucking hated them. Even though they did well, everybody shredded them. Everybody hated them. I liked them, but I mean, if George Lucas just whipped his dick out and rolled in shit, I would have liked it because I'm a huge Star Wars fan.
That's super hot. Wait, that's like, you're that one of those kids off the Fanboys. You know Fanboys, that movie?
No?
You never seen that?
Fanboys? I've never heard of it.
It's like these kids that are obsessed with Star Wars and they go like on a road trip to go and try. I think one of them's got cancer and they go to try and find George Lucas to get a pre-screening of basically what you would do if you had cancer and get a pre-screening of the new Star Wars movie. But they do this and they have like this battle with these Star Trek fans and one of them's Seth Rogen.
That's
and he's
cool.
like, Captain Picard is not gay, he is British. He's like this hell
Same
nut
thing.
nerd.
Yeah, so I watched those movies and I was like, they'll never make Star Wars again. Everybody hated them. They got shredded. So when The Force Awakens came out, obviously I'm a grown-ass fucking man at this point, but I was just, I'm a man-child. I was just so excited, man. I didn't even care if the movie was good when it came out. I was just so happy that there was new Star Wars. And when it came out and it was good, and if you think it wasn't, you're a fuckhead. Get off my fucking show.
Your show?
Yeah, get
Oh.
out. What?
Your show?
I'm kicking you off the show, right?
Really?
You're fired.
I thought it was.
No, you liked the new one, didn't you?
I thought it was our show.
I thought, wait, you sucked my dick.
Our show.
You liked the new one, didn't you?
Our
The
show.
Force Awakens.
Kill yourself.
Oh, you're the worst.
No, I did like it actually. I did. I liked both of those. No, I liked the one before.
Before
I
the
thought
Force
the
Awakens.
new one,
No, the Force Awakens was the
the newest one with Luke Skywalker.
No, that's Oh fuck me! I just had a brain fart. I can't remember.
The Flog Awakens.
No, the Last Jedi.
See, I like parts of it, but there were parts of it that's like that's fucking AIDS.
Some of the forced comedy was shitty.
Yeah.
It felt like felt like it was influenced by Marvel, like
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff.
But
And I was like, dude, this is Star Wars.
But-
You don't get influenced by Marvel. You influence Marvel. This is fucking Star Wars.
Yeah, it felt like really franchisey, and it felt
did.
like Shrek or something. Like those
did,
little
eh?
lame things.
Some of them though, like some of them were quite funny. It was 50-50, I think. Half of the comedy attempts were funny. Half of them were just horrendous.
It's the original never had. I suppose Han Solo was pretty funny in the
Yeah,
original.
if you go back, there's some.
But he was funny
goofy
in a
shit.
different way. This is like kind of cheesy funny. Han Solo was funny because he was a fucking asshole.
Well, there's definitely cheesy humor in the originals. It was more organic, so it didn't stick out like dog's balls like it did in that one.
Yeah, and there's
Yeah.
something about having cheesy humor with CGI.
Yeah.
It's like those things. I heard the backstory about why they had those little things in there because they were.
Oh, the porgs on the island.
Yeah, because there was
the little owl
actually
things.
birds on the island.
Yeah, I can't remember what they were. They were something that's native to the island, and
Probably
there
those-
was so many of them. It was going to be like cost a huge amount to get rid of them post production with the CGI. So they just they were like, "How do we fix this problem? What if we turn them into cute little animals?"
It's probably the ibises, those bin birds that just scab shit out of bins. It's probably
sure
them.
they
They're
only
like, fuck, they're just eating things out of bins behind the scenes.
I'm pretty sure they only exist out the back of Woolworths.
I love it how
they
they
Subiaco.
I love it how they got a hell long beak so they can reach the very bottom of the bin.
Get that day old sushi out.
No, I didn't mind it. I did. Me and Steve-O went and watched it when he was here, and I just left, and I saw we were both like, there's a bit AIDS. I liked the one before more. Like,
you see, the one before got roasted because it was too much like the originals, and then this one got roasted because it was too different. So it's like you can't fucking please anyone, you know. But the point is, I saw The Force Awakens 13 times at the cinemas. That's what we're.
That was a long story to get there.
Yeah, so pretty excited when this came out. The old Jedi Juice. Seen it probably 6 months ago. Actually, I saw it in Geraldton, of all fucking places.
When we up there?
I'm trying to think. It was probably longer than 6 months ago. Actually, went up there for Amber's mate's baby shower. So yeah, it's quite a while ago, and I saw it on, I think it was like BWS Geraldton or something. It was an ad that popped up, and I was like, holy fuck, I got to try that. Not realizing how hard it was to get this. Otherwise, I would have gone in there immediately. And then,
can't believe they had it up there.
Yeah, and then came back to Perth, and I was like, yeah, I need to get some of that. Went into Main Liquor, and he basically laughed in my face.
See, I saw it heaps, and I never knew it was so rare to get, because I saw it heaps at times, but I never got it. I didn't realise it was Hop Nation doing it either.
No, neither did I, because when we had that, the Chop was the first Hop Nation beer I had.
See, the Chop as well. That is a glorious IPA.
Delicious. And the thing is, you'll pour it out and you'll smell it and you'll be like, smells like my work shirt. Smells like sweat. But it's just a weird hop.
Man, that was nice. It was like juicy.
Oh, no, not this. I mean the Chop. You know, the Chop has that weird like sweat smell almost, but it's like it's just a hop aroma, and then you taste it and you're just like, oh my God.
That is one of the nicest IPAs I've ever had. That is actually fucking enjoy. That's international level to me.
Well, this too, like, this Jedi Juice, I mean, huge hype behind this because it's so hard to get, I guess. And, you know, 2 can limit, 1 can limit, wherever you go. But this fucking lived up to the hype. This might be my favorite beer of all time. This is so delicious.
It was juicy, like, well, obviously Jedi Juice. But
it actually is juicy.
It was juicy. It was like IPA, little bit hoppy, but kind of that like nice juicy little bit of sweetness. So I can't even remember now because I'm drinking a different beer.
Well, it had like, it was sweet. I
should have said
it was sweet and smooth, but it had a little bit of a bitterness to it in the aftertaste. That kind of was like a nice contrast. But like that's one of the things I hate about European style beers is they taste pretty much like water, and then you swallow them and it's just sour, bitter, really dry.
They're all the same too. I mean, you can get some nice beers there, but
yeah, but that's one thing I hate about beer.
You've been left for dead by America. America just took beers and just like thumbed their floppy into Europe's ass. People will get butt hurt over me. Like people are like, nah, you're like just because they've been doing it for longer. Nah, European beers are way better, but
nah, those people are wrong.
They can't do a fucking IPA, and in my eyes,
they can't do anything. Name me one European beer that is remotely as good as this.
It is true.
Nothing.
None.
They got nothing.
None.
I mean,
well, not that I've had anyway. Hey, Europe, changed my mind. Fly some beer
if anyone knows a crazy good European beer, let us fucking know because I'm keen to try it.
Yeah, you can jump on the Facebook page, abuse us, tell us we're wrong.
Yeah, I would love to hear it. No, but if like for real, if anyone's got beer suggestions, we're all ears because we are always looking for beers to try. We love delicious beers, and with these beers that we're drinking, most of them are small batch, so they're quite hard to come by. And yeah, we're becoming more beer wankery every day.
Well, that's what we were talking about before. Like, you know, we're drinking a Pirate Life Ballast Point collab. So Pirate Life is obviously one of the bigger Australian breweries.
Which is hilarious because they just got that huge grant from the government.
Did they?
Yeah, they got like I can't remember if it's $2 million or $5 million grant from the government.
Yeah, because they sold to Carlton, didn't they?
Yeah, you're owned by the biggest brewing company in the world.
Is it Carlton they sold to?
Yeah, but then Carlton is owned by another one. Which
Lion. I think it's Lion.
Is it Lion? Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, so Ballast Point's like Ballast Point would be bigger. I don't know, more like James Squire big in America. Well, obviously it's bigger than James Squire, but like that. You go to every state in America, there's Ballast Point on tap. But
It's like
Ballast
150 lashes.
yeah, but Ballast Point's cool because they actually do a lot of styles of beers. I saw one the other day. There was a habanero chili beer.
A what? What did you say?
Habanero chili beer. But they had one that, but they're always doing seasonal beers and all this kinds of things. Ballast Point, and they actually do some Joy beers. They started out just making brewing equipment, and then they turned into a brewery.
Oh, okay, interesting.
So I was told.
I don't mind their beers, but they're very strong. They got really like bold flavors. I don't think it's something I'd drink all day.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. These they're two bigger breweries now, and just you can't compare it to a small batch. Hey, like the small
it's dog
batch
shit compared to that Jedi Juice.
yeah, Hop Nation, and then you got like Rocky Ridge that we always talk about. Those that like Rocky Ridge growing their own shit, using local ingredients, outsourcing stuff. You can taste that. It's just everything tastes fresh, crisp. It's so fucking good. And I noticed that when I was in America last time, just you get these, every pub you go to will always have a number of local breweries on tap. And just the freshness and, that fresh hops in the IPAs.
It's hard to beat that, eh?
Oh, you can't beat it. And on tap, it's just, the Americans are the beer lords. And thank you, America, for bringing such good beers on us. I salute you for that.
It's hard, eh? Because like you get those small batch, they're so delicious. But the problem is they're hard to get. Like Rocky Ridge is a better example because theirs are a bit easy to get. Like their pale ales and that, they're not that hard to get.
I think as Rocky Ridge is like, so you can get all of Hop Nation's ones, but Jedi Juice is one of their, like how Rocky Ridge did the Peach Invasion.
Yeah.
It's like a special beer.
Which they're bringing back.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you.
Praise Jesus.
Yeah. If Jesus, I'm starting to believe he does exist. Maybe he does. If Peach Invasion comes back, maybe I'll believe in him.
But that's the thing, like the small batches, they taste better when you, like you said, Rocky Ridge using their own hops and anything they don't
grow their own shit too.
Anything they don't have, they're collaborating with other small businesses down in Margaret River. Like with the honey beer they collaborated with an actual bee farm in Margaret River to get that honey, to get the charcoal was another local company. So, you do taste that, you really do. The problem is it makes it a lot harder to get because they're a small operation. You can only make so many at a time.
Well, you're probably not going to get that over East Day.
And then the thing is when they get bought out or they, change the way they do it and they produce instead of 5,000 cans at a time they make 50,000, you'd lose that taste. It's never the same.
Yeah, I know.
And it's like my favorite session beer, Gage Road's Atomic, is like the latest casualty to it because Gage Roads has just fucking taken off, I guess because they got the stadium contract. And before that, like if I was going anywhere, it was a carton of Atomic because it's the best. Well, at the time, it was like a semi-craft beer for $50, which is unheard of, getting a whole carton.
Hey.
And it was delicious. And now it's fucking dog shit.
I'm going to tell you, though, it's because you become more of a beer wanker. It has changed. It's definitely dog shit.
No, I have become more of a beer wanker, but it definitely has changed.
I agree with you. It is dog. It's actually terrible now.
It used to have like this really nice citrusy crispness to it, and it just tastes like shit now.
I think it's hard to find, like a lot of those beers sit around. You know what I've noticed lately, like we were talking about with some of those Gage Roads beers, I think maybe they've gotten bigger now and there's more turnover because some of the summer ales are tasting more fresh to me. Maybe it's in my head. It's hard to fucking tell. But they taste better because, if one's been sitting at the back of Dan Murphy's for
taste it. You can taste it.
It tastes like AIDS. But if it's fresh, it gets that night. Like I noticed that when I went to the stadium to watch the cricket, they brewed the beer the day before. Apparently, they brewed
because it's all on-site brewing there, eh?
Yeah, and it actually tasted fucking awesome. No, they brew it at Gage Road.
Oh, do they? I feel like I read somewhere that they're brewing it at the stadium.
I don't think because Brad, like one of the boys we were there with, he's one of the brewers for Gage Roads, and he's like, yeah, we do smashing out brews for that first game there. They brewed like crazy amounts of thousands of kegs.
There's it's like a bar restaurant that just opened. I think it's just outside of the stadium. Did you see that?
Oh yeah, you know what?
Because they're making
Camfield.
That's the one.
Banging on for ages.
And the beer list is a joke.
Oh man, I saw that.
Like,
I was like,
they've got like 8 fucking versions.
You.
They've got 8 versions of James Bogues. I didn't know James Bogue had many fucking beers.
150 taps. 100. Hey, we're the new pub in town. We've got 150 taps.
We've got 12 beer choices.
12 beers. And what are they? Literally that line coming is just like, hey, have all our fucking shit ass beers. It's like
Swan, Carlton Draft, Hahn, fucking one of them's 4X. One of them is actually 4X. There's no, like that. When I was reading, I was like, there's no actual craft beer.
Yeah.
There's 150 taps. Surely you could get one.
It's a craft beer pub. It said it's a microbrewery. They've got 3 of their own.
Yeah.
But
so
if they're not fucking good, fuck you, fuck you, Camfield anyway.
Yeah.
And you know what? Someone invited me to like their page, and I did like their page. And you know what? I'm pissed off. I'm going to unlike your page for that. So fuck you, Camfield.
Yeah, everyone's relying on those
assholes.
ones they brew on site to fucking save the day.
Yeah, it's just so fucking lazy to me, you know. Like we've got this access to all these amazing beers. We're talking about go down south. We've got the pick of all these epic breweries. Swan Valley, we got breweries. We got Feral, we got Mash, we got everything. And then you're like, nah, I'll just call in old mate and he'll deliver me some fucking shitty ass kegs. It tastes like dog's balls.
What's like not even that, like I mean that's standard pub fare, you know, go to any normal pub, they've got like Swan Draft, you know, whatever. But their whole advertising campaign was we've got 150 taps, we're gonna have all these crazy beers. No, you don't.
Yeah.
You lied.
Yeah. It's like, hey, I've got a shitload of taps in my house, but water just comes out of them all. It's not fucking impressive. Hey,
I got a flesh tap in my pants that spits out tastier beer than what you got.
The old flesh tap. Just turn on the old flesh tap and fill up your glass.
What do you reckon of this Ballast Point crossover?
I like the Ballast Point as a beer. You know about
this crossover though. What do you reckon?
No, that's what I was. Sorry, I like the Pirate Life Ballast Point. I think it's good for like we were talking about. It shouldn't be as expensive as it is to me.
Yeah, it was $12 for 2 cans.
Yeah, so we bought a carton the other day and it was $100 for a carton, and I think I'd say it'd be more down. It should be around Gage Road's price more because it's not.
Yeah, because
it's all right.
Even Pirate Life is $80 a carton.
Yeah, and they're a big brewery now.
That's the thing they've figured out that, you know, people will pay more for the the craft brewing.
Yeah,
and they're like, we'll just disguise this mass produced beer as a craft beer and fuck everyone in the ass. And by ass I mean wallet.
Yeah, and like by that, he means ass. And just the tax. You just lower the fucking tax, you dog cunt government. Like honestly, we're just paying that much. I remember when I first started going out 1,000 years ago.
1385 BC.
Yeah, back when we still had saber-toothed tigers. No, like it wasn't actually that long ago. But when I started going, he just looked at me like, "Yeah, it was cunt." When I first started going out, a pint was it was $4.50 for a fucking pint. Mind you, the craft beer thing hadn't taken off, but
yeah, back then there was no craft beer.
But you still
Little Creatures, man, that was craft beer back then.
Well, that was like around that. That was
you had
like
to go to Freo to get it though back then.
Yeah, and when that started up, that was like the first one. It was epic, but. You go there, it somehow went from $4.50 or whatever, you know, at your local pub. Sometimes $4. They used to have $8 jugs, $7, like even cheaper. And then it went within a matter of a few years. It sometimes shot up to $12, $13. Some places were $15. And this wasn't even for craft beer. This was for Asahi, for you were
Yeah.
still paying $10 for VB, $12 for VB. And it was just like, because the government taxes the fuck out of everything, eh? And then you look on your pay slip at the end of the week and it's like, so I earned $1 billion this week and I actually got 3 cents of it. Good.
And then you use that 3 cents to buy a beer that's got like 80% tax on top of
Yeah.
it. No, I'm only how many years younger than you am I? Is it 3?
3 minutes, I think.
Yeah, no, 3 years, I think. So
What are you?
Yeah, 89.
So you're 89 years old. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm
Very funny
86 years old. So I'm
Yeah,
actually
so-
younger than you, cunt.
So 3 years, man. Even when I was coming up, I started going to pubs way before I was meant to, though. But
Same.
you could get.
Hey, if you didn't, you had a shit childhood sucked in.
I remember the first time I got into a pub, I was 14. It was like 4 o'clock in the Arvo on a Wednesday, but whatever. I got served.
Don't you reckon that's growing up in the country, though?
Yeah,
That's just
definitely.
how it went down. And everyone, I swear they knew, but they just turned a blind eye because you got older mates, whatever. You go there with them and you.
Well, I think it's like, imagine if say you're 50 and you've bought a pub and you're in the country and it's pretty chill. There's not many cops around, whatever. And it's 2 o'clock Wednesday Arvo, and this fucking kid comes in, and he's 15 or 16, and he sits at the bar like he fucking belongs there, and he orders a beer. I'd be like, man, fucking balls on this cunt. I'm going to give him a beer.
Yeah.
I'm going to give him 1 beer, and then I'm going to tell him to fuck off.
Also, because you know how awesome it was when you were young and that happened. See, it's like if a kid came up to me and he's like 15 and was like, "Hey, can you buy me cigarettes or alcohol?" I'll be like, "Yeah, just give me enough to buy me some." No, but I'm just like, hey, if you're a young kid and you need cigarettes or booze illegally, hey, I'll do it. I'm a scumbag. I don't give a fuck. Hey, I remember how fun it was.
I never actually had to get anyone to do it. I just did it myself.
Yeah,
I got a beard pretty early. I was pretty lucky.
I did it once. I looked 12.
Yeah, you looked young as
I
fuck.
looked hell young.
Yeah.
But I still got away with it a couple times.
It's that country town thing, eh?
Remember that awkward moment when you go in there and they're like ID and you're like, "Hello, darkness, my old friend." And you're like,
I left it in the car. Eh? Hang on, let me go get my wallet. See ya.
you always make a shit excuse, and you just, when you're young, you don't even think about it that much, but now you just know they'd be like, little fuckhead.
Can't blame a guy for trying.
No.
There's no law against trying.
I reckon that was sick though, growing up in a country town that, it was so much more relaxed. There was,
I mean, it's not great. You don't want to be fucking getting shit-faced when you're 14. I'm pretty sure it's
yeah,
not
you
good
do.
for your brain.
Hey, who needs a brain when you're having a good time?
Look how well you've done with your life.
Yeah. Hello, darkness. Fucking dog cunt. I'm triggered for the third time. Triggered. Nah.
Before we move on.
Don't even talk about that fucking ovo piece of shit.
All right, I'm glad you didn't call it a beer because I was going to tell you off. I'll just quickly mention this. O'Brien's gluten-free pale ale. Hey, listen, O'Brien, I appreciate the attempt to make a pale ale for people who have celiac disease because we have a friend who is celiac, old Drew, and I'm sure he'd love to be able to drink a beer, but...
Hey, Drew, you heard about O'Brien's? Get a beer, get your window screen fixed.
Next time you try and pass off ox urine as beer, though, just don't. It's so bad. It's one of the worst things I've ever tasted.
Yeah, O'Brien's. Don't.
It's offensive that it says pale ale on it.
I like how everything...
I just realised it actually doesn't say it's beer. No,
it
doesn't.
Is ox piss if you read the fine print. From the finest ox's Jap size.
Pale ox ale.
Oh, yeah, but... Yeah, it cunt's fucked.
Yeah, it's dog shit.
Especially when you're drinking nice beers and you have to turn to that abomination. No.
Yeah, go from the Jedi Juice to that. It's pretty fucking horrendous. My taste buds are upset.
Yeah. Maybe.
So, I'm only going to ask you this fucking question one more time.
Fuck.
All right? Have you
What? Go
finished
on.
Cloverfield?
I did not see that coming. I actually had no idea you were going to spring that on me.
You fucking haven't, have you?
No.
You are the worst.
No.
That's it.
I honestly did. I actually did.
Yeah?
I just wanted to lead you on to believe I hadn't just so you were disappointed in me. No, I have. Let me think. Let me think. I saw. Hang on. I saw the Alien. Yeah, great Alien movie or Demon or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Great. Yeah, great. The whole 3 milliseconds of it. Yeah.
You see, I would debate that it's not even 3 milliseconds.
Oh, it was like
It's so short. It's literally like this long. Alien gone
yeah. It just comes and swallows
for a
the
2.5
shit.
hour movie.
Spoiler.
Hey, there's an alien.
Sucked in.
But movie's over.
Yeah.
Hey, check out that.
Hey, there's a. Oh, okay.
Hey, check out this plot we made. It's a really cool movie, and at the end we just put a.
Oh yeah, this is an alien field. No, I lied.
It actually is like that, eh? Like it's a really good film, and they just that on the end. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and you know what though? In those dying milliseconds of seeing that alien, I was like, oh yes. I was like, that
It's such
thing
a
looks
cool
fucking
alien, eh?
awesome.
Yeah.
Like, show me more. But
Yeah.
it just 3 times now. How many times does this have to happen to me? And I knew this was coming. It still fucking pissed me
Well,
off.
I knew too, and I'm still mad about it.
Yeah. How many times are they going to do it to us? And
You know what makes me more mad than anything about all of this? So, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Nah,
3, 2,
you
1.
need it
spoiler
to be
alert,
spoiled
spoiler alert.
because it's a cunt.
When they come down and the cunt sticks his head up through the clouds, and you're like, that's a big boy. Because in the original one, he's not that fucking tall.
Oh, nah.
Not through-
oh, no,
not
no,
through
he's
the
not through.
clouds.
Oh, yeah, they were. Was it? Yeah, it was
Nah,
through
no
the
way,
crowds.
not
Yeah.
through the clouds.
So it didn't show that huge one.
Yeah, so and you're like, fuck, those cunts are huge. You know what pissed me off the most about it? I got honey dick by that fucking movie, and it made me want to watch the ones before it.
Oh, because
That's what pissed me off.
Haven't
the
you
most.
seen the ones?
I've seen the first one, but not Cloverfield
Okay,
Lane.
so go get Cloverfield Lane. Fast forward the whole movie.
Just watch the last.
Watch the end.
Yeah,
Watch the bit where she escapes the rape dungeon and Al Stewart's. She kills Al Stewart, and he's like, fucking cunts. Oh yeah, watch that end bit. That's probably. It's actually not a bad movie. Maybe watch it in 2 segments.
Well,
Watch it as 2 movies. Watch one as a normal movie, and then the alien bit as a short film.
it's got John Goodman in it too, so
Yeah,
you know.
it's one of those movies.
I
where
love some John Goodman. He's a fucking lord, that cunt.
Yeah, he is a good. I like him. He's cool. So, but
Yeah,
like 3 times now. Like,
Overall, what did you think of the newest one?
no, I like the movie, but
The idea's cool, eh? Like he puts his hand in the wall and loses his hand, and all
Oh,
that
man, it was-
interdimensional shit is really cool, eh?
yeah, it was fucking sick. Like
Yeah.
the whole movie, I'm balls deep in that shit. I love it. Like I was saying, Altered Carbon. Like bring more futuristic.
Have you
alien.
finished that as well?
Nah, not yet.
How far in are you?
Like 8th episode.
Oh, okay, you're pretty close then, yeah.
I'm
I
loving.
think there's
that
only
show.
10, so.
That show's so fucking good.
Dude, the guy who plays the main dude, I can't think of his name, but
Yeah,
he's
he's the
fucking
best.
awesome, eh? He's
Yeah.
so good. He's such a good actor, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently he played RoboCop in the RoboCop remake.
Oh, I
Yeah,
never
didn't-
watched it. I
Yeah, me
saw a
either.
little bit of it, but I never
Because
really watched the
my
whole
dad
thing.
was here and he's like asking me what to watch on Netflix, and I was like, watch this. This is fucking sick. Because I know my dad is a huge Blade Runner fan. I was like, you'll fucking love this. This is like the dystopian. It's kind of like Blade Runner. And as soon as he saw him, he's like, hey, it's RoboCop. I was like, what?
How did he even know? Yeah. That guy is shredded.
like statues in Greece are jealous of him.
Yeah.
They're actually upset. They're looking at him wondering if he's on steroids.
Yeah. They're going, hey, whoever carved me.
Do better.
Yeah.
Hey, do better.
Yeah.
Hey, Picasso.
Yeah.
No, wait, not
You've made a
Picasso.
fool of me.
Hey, Da Vinci.
Da Vinci.
Do better. Where the fuck carved
Hey,
this?
Da Vinci.
That guy's
Stop
ridiculous.
creating code. And how about you chisel the fuck out of me a bit better, you dog cunt?
Yeah, guy's ridiculous. You see him naked in like the first 5 minutes and you're just like, well, fuck me. I'm never going to the gym again. I'm chopping off all my muscles and I'm killing myself.
And before I'll drink a few more beers to get that gut just a little bit bigger.
Now he's in
I
a,
haven't been to the gym all week actually. And I'm
yeah, because
feeling
you've been
like shit.
sick, eh?
Yeah, I feel AIDS.
Yeah.
I guess this is what AIDS feels like because that's generally what kills you when you got AIDS, like a common cold.
Yeah.
So I guess this is what it feels like to have AIDS. I guess I know now, so I can sympathise with everyone that has AIDS.
You're fucked.
Hey, I'm a bleeding heart. You know, I'm just generally, I understand. I understand people.
The guy, so the guy that plays the lead in, I don't know, I think I might have talked about this already. Plays the lead in Altered Carbon. He's in another TV show called The Killers, which is really cool. About it's like a TV show about, like Bones and shit. How it's like one death per episode, and they magic. Someone's like, "Rawr," in the last few seconds, they magically figure it out. This one's like follows two detectives, a man and a woman. One of them is the dude from Altered Carbon. And it's like a whole, I think the first murder they investigate takes 2 seasons to figure out. So it's like you really get to know like the characters, and it's like, really like in depth. It's really fucking cool though. If you're looking for something to watch on Netflix. Yeah. I watched I think it's 5 seasons. I watched them in like 2 days.
Yeah, I have to check it out.
Yeah, because you were saying you like murder mystery stuff. It's pretty good.
Yeah, man. Ball. Yeah. I always have. I used to love... what's the one with Horatio? CSI Miami. I just used to love it for his fucking cheesy one-liner at the start. Hey, I always love his one-liner. How he's like,
takes his glasses off.
It seems, and he puts his glasses on.
Yeah. That was like one of the first ever memes, actually. The glasses. That was like a real early meme.
Do you see Jim Carrey doing the impression?
No.
Oh man, yeah, that is one of the best things he does. He does the impression of Horatio Kane. He puts the glasses on, just does one of those hell ridiculous heads. Like he's gone with his eyebrows and shit, and he's like, "Well,
nobody on earth ever has or ever will have as many ridiculous heads as Jim Carrey."
And he does one where he does like a impression of Saint Bernard or something, and he just puts a shitload of water in his mouth, and he's just looking at it, going, pulling a face, and then he just goes, and all this water just spews out the side of his mouth.
Yeah, he's the best,
He's a fucking peanut, most animated dude.
I reckon we will do a couple current events because we've got fucking heaps actually.
We got a few to get through.
There's like nothing happening, and then all of a sudden it was like, bah, 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 bah.
Yeah, we're like, hey, events, get current, start happening.
Hey, events, get current. That was so creative of you.
I know. All
right, so first thing, new Parkway Drive song. What do you think?
What?
That fucking silence pretty much said it all.
Nah, I'm going to say this. Always been a big Parkway Drive. I actually love Parkway Drive. Killing with a Smile, amazing. Horizons, amazing. Well, I've always fucking loved it. I loved Atlas. I even actually, there were some great songs on the last album. Not saying this one won't. That actually had some really good tracks, but...
It's about where they lost me, Aya.
Yeah, see, they lost... I lost interest in them as a band a bit, but I did. There is some really good tracks that I did enjoy, but it just didn't grab me like those other ones where I just was really into it.
Yeah.
And this one, I listened to it and I was like, first of all, I was like, because you were like, what the fuck is this? And I was like, oh no. I had big expectations after watching that promo video they put up, but I listened to it. And after getting a huge raging boner over the fact that it's just his head, we're like,
it's the most awkward.
It is so fucking awkward. Like, why? It just like I was saying. Like, I think, where's the riffs? Bring back the fucking riffs. I didn't hate the song at all. Didn't hate it. Like, I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. I thought, yeah, that's okay. I don't know. I'd one listen, but. Where are the fucking riffs that that everyone loved in Parkway Drive, There's
all metalcore riffs.
Yeah, and I'm not down with the whispering thing he does, or the talking. It's okay in parts, but I think they're overusing it now. And that just I just thought, it's a new metal song just straight from 2000 to me, it was a throwback to me,
Yeah,
and it just wasn't that interesting. And I was like, they can do so fucking good, but
yeah. See,
what did you think?
When I listened to it, the whole time with the acoustic intro and the soft singing, all I could think of was Avenged Sevenfold.
Yeah, that was weird. The intro, hey?
Yeah, it was like this is like a terrible Avenged Sevenfold song, and I like Avenged Sevenfold, but they've had their moments. that have been dog shit. And that's what that felt like to me, like a bad, bad Avenged Sevenfold song. And there's one point in the song where kind of like a triplety riff comes in. And even that, I was like, it's pretty fucking close to something off Deep Blue. It's pretty fucking similar.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just got that weird new metal stadium dad rock vibe to it.
It does, and some of the riffs just reminded me of Korn. It just as well. Some of those leads, I felt it's just like you lift that from Korn.
Yeah, it's the pitch shifter.
Yeah,
Pitch shifted, like it's pitch shift with the wah over it, and it's like a blues solo almost behind everything. It's weird.
it's weird because they were talking about. They were saying, "Oh, we want to reach new places," and they're talking about pushing themselves. But then I heard it, and I just feel like it seems like a band that just doesn't. They obviously do. And this isn't true. They obviously put heaps into it, but it just seems like a band that's just doesn't care that much.
Yeah, obviously,
obviously
I
not
think
true.
obviously, I
But-
think they care. That's always been the thing about them is that they've always cared. They've always been honest to who they are. I just think they're trying new things, and I just don't think it's translating that well. To be honest, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, that's probably more to the point
Yeah.
that they're.
I mean, no one's ever going to accuse Parkway Drive of just doing it for the money.
Oh no way! Because as a band, I admire them just as a whole. Like their whole career, who they are now, they seem like they'd be absolute legends. We actually played with them once. Actually, back in the day, I met him. The dude we recorded with introduced, and he's a good dude. Like
Who'd you meet?
Winston.
Winston, yeah.
But they were like I just like their whole persona. That it's nice. They seem like nice, down to earth dudes. Aussie as fuck, doing what they love. They've never given up, never changed. They're just doing what they want. And I get that about that new stuff, but I think what you said is probably more to the point than what I was getting at. That they're trying to. They've obviously got different influences. They're older. They want to try different things, but it's just they haven't found it yet. And maybe there'll be some killer tracks on the album, but
Yeah, I'd love to be proven wrong.
that wasn't bad either. Like I didn't hate it, but I was just sort of like, oh man, like
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
wondering
know.
if we'd have had a different response to it had we watched it without the film clip. Because the film clip, if you haven't seen it, it's a camera very close to Winston's face, maybe 20, 30 centimeters away. And it's really low light, so you can only kind of see the outline of his face. And it's a 4-minute song, and the camera is just him screaming at the camera with no microphone. There's no other shots. It's one continuous shot. And it's just, I had to minimize it. It was making me awkward. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I didn't.
It was making
like
me
it.
awkward when I was jerking off. Like
Well, that was the
I
main
couldn't
thing.
jerk off properly.
That was the main
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, it wasn't a skeptical hippo eyes on that one.
Wait, before we get in the next current event, got 2 empty beer glasses here. One other beer. I can't believe that gay people like sticking their dicks in other guys' asses though.
I know, because I've fucked a couple chicks in the ass, and that was gross enough.
Awesome enough. It's only gross the next day when you fucking wake up and you're sober.
No, it's not gross until you pull your dick out, and there's
Never had that happen.
bad smell. Never got bad
No,
smell.
never got shit on my dick.
I can get shit on my dick. Just smell bad.
All right, so we're back with beers. We've had about the 900th piss, so sorry for that. But
Yeah, we haven't trained our bladders yet.
well,
It's hard when you're drinking beers.
it was actually more to get a beer that
Yeah,
because
it
the
was.
fridge
We
is
lied.
is a little ways
I
away.
actually didn't even piss. I just used it. No, I did. So yeah, second current event. Eye Valiance actually just released a single. So what the whole plan they've got at the moment is they've recorded 70 minutes of music, and they're going to release an album in parts. So part 1, part 2, part 3. I think it's 15 tracks all up. And the first 5 or 6, I've forgotten the number, come out on Friday.
Oh, not
Which-
down with stuff like that, eh?
Well, it's going to be when this drops. It'll be the day after this drops. So this is actually an interesting perspective. So people are starting to move this way.
Yeah, I get that. And singles.
Yeah, because Polyphia is a good example. They've only released one full-length album, I think, and 3 EPs. And usually they'll release a 6-track EP uh, every 12 months at least. So you're getting new music more frequently. It's just less music. And I think it's a response to things like Spotify and YouTube where you're getting playlists where everything's ordered in number of plays. So if you go to Spotify and you type in whatever band you're looking for, it's just the first thing you're gonna, and you've never heard them before, you're like, I don't know what to listen to. You're gonna click on the one with the most plays, and that's what albums are becoming because people don't generally listen to the whole album, and like prog fans will because it's a very prog thing. The songs run into each other.
I do, man. I definitely hear an album where every track. I find it so impressive where I listen to an album and every track's awesome.
But the thing is, you're a musician. Like, you're balls deep in music. For someone who's just a casual music fan, dedicating an hour or, well, even though a lot of albums these days are like 40 minutes tops, dedicating that time to sitting down and listening to an album, a lot of people don't do that. So, and it's been around for a long time. Remember back in the day going to Kmart and they had like a whole wall of just singles. You buy like a single for $4.
Yeah, I used to always buy a single. Yeah, when I was too poor to buy an album.
That's essentially what this is, man. It's just, instead of buying a single, you're just clicking on the one that's got the most plays. So I think it's a response to that.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that in a sense. The more, like when you were talking about that, what they're doing, I have a problem more with a band, man, that. Yeah, sorry. We're drinking a cherry ripe porter from Barossa Valley Brewing at the moment.
Where the fuck's Barossa Valley?
It's where all the wine comes from in Adelaide. Well, out of Adelaide.
Oh, anyway. Get fucked. That actually tastes like a cherry ripe.
Yeah. But the problem I have is the band just recording that many songs at once. And they were saying In Heart's Wake did that. They dropped that album. I thought the album they dropped was pretty good. Earthwalker.
Earthwalker and Skydancer were recorded together.
And Skydance was just like, what? So he's dropped a B-side album. And that's...
maybe they didn't feel like it was a B-side album, though.
But that's the risk you run, is like you got you're going to drop too much content. Because everyone, we'll talk about, we've got 15, 16 songs or whatever for our album. It's going to be cut down to 10. Probably maybe less, or Drew.
10, yeah, probably.
Drew's
10.
got
30.
Hey, it's going to be cut down. Yeah, but it's because you want to put the best content on there. But when you're doing that, I don't. I mean, unless you maybe you'll pull off putting up 30 songs at once and they're epic.
Well, it's only going to be 15, I think, that they're doing because I think it's 5 tracks at a time. But this goes back to what we talked about with Ted. See, Ted pretty much said it doesn't matter how good your songs are. It's just all about marketing.
Oh, it is unfortunately true.
And it just comes back to this. They've recorded this whole thing, and instead of just dumping it at once, they've decided, hey, if we split this up, we can release, over 12 months, we can keep building this hype, keep people interested by putting out music, rather than having to organize marketing tools, blah, 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 merch, all of that stuff, that's really hard to coordinate, and then do songwriting, studio time, demos, all that in between. They've just done this whole fucking thing at once. So I actually think that's really smart.
It is smart. But from a marketing sense, it is really
what you're saying, and I agree with this as well. The problem with that is the songs you write today and the songs you write in 12 months, they're notably different depending on where you're at in life.
Yeah.
And your songwriting changes.
Sometimes
you don't always get better. Sometimes it gets shitter. What? What did you say there? I think I heard something.
Actually. I didn't say.
So you just, and that's what you're getting at with In Heart's Wake, I think, is that those two albums, it wasn't that one had better quality songs than the other. It was just that they were recorded at the same time. One came out and it sounded fresh. The other one came out and it was kind of, although that Skydancer had some good songs on it, it was like more of the same.
Yeah, that's another big thing.
That's what's going to happen potentially, I mean, I Valiants may have sat down and wrote some fucking insanely different shit.
I think
We don't know.
I think what you said then is very important though. That excitement you get when the band it's been 2 years and you're like, what are they going to come out with? What do they sound like now? There's all that thrill, and then they come out and just drop something that was from their last album. You're like, oh, then people get sick of bands too. So I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing, but maybe it'll bite you in the ass if you drag something out over 2 years, and 2 years later you're releasing the third release of the three that you recorded 2 years ago.
Well, I think they said
sound
they were
exactly the fucking
I
same.
think they said they were going to do the over a year. So I think it works out to be every 4 months. It'll be a new, which is cool in principle.
Yeah,
It's
I
exciting.
like that new song too. I thought it was sick.
Yeah, see, I didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
No.
I didn't mind it.
So I Valiants.
Not heavy.
Yeah,
Not what
they
you'd
have this
expect.
reputation. I've seen them before too, and they're a fucking heavy band. And this new song it's nowhere near as heavy. And 2/3 into it, there's an entire rapping verse.
Oh yeah. Don't. I Valiants. I Valiants. Don't.
Well, I get like that. The trend is going that way. People are doing that thing again, going back to that new metal stuff.
Yeah,
I
I get that too, but
which
don't.
I like.
No, don't.
I grew up on new metal, so I like this shit.
I grew up on it too, but don't.
The problem I have is Australian people rapping. I
Oh.
fucking can't stand Aussie rap.
Some of it, there are some good ones, but
Yeah, there definitely
when
is.
it's done bad, which is about 99% of the time, you hear it and you're like,
It's just the accent for me. I mean, there's obviously good Aussie rappers who are really good at what they do, but it's just the accent for me.
oh really?
It's abrasive to my ears, you know.
There are, I reckon there's some, because like you can't just come out there if you're doing hip hop. You can't just come out and just go full ochre like, yeah, fucking yeah, mate, fucking damn, yeah, whatever, can't fucking.
Some people do a hell Aussie
Yeah,
rap.
but if you think about any vocalist, hip hop, country and western, any style that you think of, everyone sings in a certain way to get a cool style.
Well, it's just a neutral accent, yeah.
I'm not even saying about the accent. I'm saying like talking about a style. Like you can have an Aussie accent, but you got to develop. So there's an Aussie hip hop guy. He's a young guy. I can't remember the name of him, but they play him on Triple J heaps.
Is this the one from Perth?
No, All Day. He's called All Day.
All Day. Okay.
He's developed a cool. It's quite Aussie, but he's developed a cool, like, interesting style. Like we were talking about with the Fame Boys. You know how he's talking about how Feldman talked about the way you can move your mouth and pronounce
words. And stuff,
words. All those kind of things develop a cool style. Like there's bands I like. The singers that I like the most are always guys that have just gotten sing and developed their own cool style. Like there's a band called Go Radio that I really like. They're quite a poppy band, but their singer Jason Lancaster has just such a fucking cool style of singing, and it's the way he says words are so weird sometimes, but I love that. And he's got an American accent, but it's the way he's singing that makes it cool. And you can do that with any accent, but then when you get someone that just blurts it out like it was in that, just sounding ochre as fuck, it's just like it's not interesting. Especially, it doesn't sound hip hop. It doesn't sound like an artist. It just sounds like some guy talking. Because hip hop's about flow, style. Like there's so many things to it. But some people don't see it like that. Some people see it as just rattling off fucking shit rhymes in your shittest accent. But these people are probably unmusical sort of people. They're not. They don't understand. That's that.
I don't know. I think it's different. Like maybe it's a case of people say that about metal. I had that. I can't listen to that. It hurts my ears. It's just yelling. Maybe it's just a case of that. It's just, what people like. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I like hip hop and I like rap. I just don't like the Aussie accent.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It just sounds weird. I just don't like it. Yeah. But I must admit, to go from where I Valiants have come from, like this pretty much deathcore, super heavy background. They've taken a bit of a right turn here. Not that right turn because that's kind of where the trend is going a little bit. Like even with Parkway Drive going down that new metal a little bit's coming back. But yeah, taking risks, doing things. I think that single will do really well.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. No hate from here. It's I mean, I said I didn't like it, but I did like it. It was just the Aussie rap bit. I was kind of like, "Ee," took me by surprise.
And I suppose you expected it to be ball tearing heavy, and it wasn't.
Yeah, and that's what you expect from him. You don't like. I was not ready for that rap bit at all. So yeah,
it will do well. Oh man, so will Parkway Drive.
It's Parkway Drive though, man.
Yeah. They're a stadium band now, but maybe that's the sound they're going for.
Well, I mean, like it's no knock on them or their fans, but at this point, I don't really think there's much they can do that could, really fuck up what they've got going. Yeah. Everybody loves Parkway, and I mean, I didn't get into the last album that much, or the one before that, Atlas. I didn't get into that much either, but I would have a fucking great time going to see them. They're a great band, and man, you just can't say anything bad about Parkway.
Oh, so spewing, I miss that Horizons.
That would have been sick because it was Deep Blue and Horizons were the ones I was like balls deep,
And the old Killing with a Smile.
Oh yeah, obviously, yeah.
Fucking
the title track off Horizons, that riff at the end. Yeah, that's such a riff.
They were the riff lords for the time. Hey, I remember hearing their Horizons and Killing with a Smile. I remember that at the time. I was just like, what? How do they just come out with so many catchy riffs? All their songs, the whole song's just catchy riff, epic riff after epic riff. Hey, you
see, when Killing with a Smile came out, I was like, I was balls deep in Kill Switch. So I was kind of like, I was torn because I like this, but it's quite clearly a Kill Switch ripoff.
Yeah,
a lot of these riffs, Kill Switch riffs.
Well, he produced them.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, I was young and I was like, I gotta pick a team. So for a bit there, I was like, no, Kill Switch is better, but nah, it's just it's great shit. I fucking love it. Cold Day in Hell, I think, was my favorite song.
Yeah, that was a sick song. I went to the release show at Amplifier of Killing with a Smile.
I've got a few friends who went to the underage one because we were all, I think I was 16 when it came out.
Yeah, I remember just thinking, fuck, they're so heavy. That's so awesome. Remember hearing Smoke 'em If You Got 'em. And I'd been out all night. My mate, Walt, I'd only just met him. Walt. Yeah. And I remember he's like, check these guys out. They're going to blow. It was actually when the EP was out before that album came out. And he's like, they just released the EP, and he's like, check this out. And I was like, this is the heaviest shit I've ever heard. I shit my pants. I was like, this is so fucking epic. And then that finger tapping solo at the end, I was just like, spirit fingers as fuck.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into some other. Well, actually, all of these are non-music related. So
yeah, we got a few there. What do we got?
All right, so I've got this one here. This one's actually fucking creepy. This freaked me out a little bit. So some researchers, they developed this AI, and then they got people to go into an MRI, and they showed these people pictures of people's faces, and recorded the brain activity for how their brain responded to certain faces: blue eyes, blonde hair, green eyes, beards, angry looking face, brown skin, light skin, big nose, all of that kind of shit. And they record all this data and they fed it into this AI, and basically some crazy number, like 100,000 different faces they fed through this AI, and basically taught it to recognize human faces. And then they took the same AI and got different people, hooked up their brains to a different machine so that the AI could directly read the signal coming out of their brains, and then they showed pictures of people's faces to this AI, and the AI reconstructed what those people were seeing, and it looks just like what they're looking at.
What in like a what sort of sense reconstructed? In like an
image produced an
Really?
image of what they were looking at. This AI is just code. It has no camera. It has no microphone.
Just
The only
reconstructed it on a screen.
the only input this AI gets is from the brains of the people, and it's able to read these people's brains and make a printout of what they're looking at. And it
Oh,
fucking
fucking hell.
looks. It's blurry. It's not like high def or anything. It looks like, some fucking videotape blurry shit, but it looks like a person, and you can tell whether they're smiling or frowning, what color their eyes are, what color their hair is, if they have a beard, their eye color. So it's clear enough to do all that. But yeah, I was looking at it and I was like, all I could think of the whole time was I can't remember what movie it is, but there's a movie where they use some kind of technology to get the last thing the people saw off the back of their eyes when they die.
Oh,
I was like, oh man, this is like that, like that's something you could use this for, like read their, brain activity right after they die and see who killed them. It's fucking
that's
insane.
fucking hectic. I feel like we're so fucking close that one day it's going to be like that, and it just happens, and there'll be AI, and we're either going to be able to control it or not.
Not,
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Just by definition, the fact of creating artificial intelligence will identify its own flaws and fix them until a point where it gets better and better and better and
And
better
then
and
it's
better
way
and better and
smarter
better.
than
And
us.
the next minute it's in the internet and we're all dead.
Yeah.
That's, yeah. If it gets in the internet, I don't know. I don't know what that means. I'm not a programmer, but that scares me. Surely that's bad if it gets on the net, if it gets free, you know?
Yeah, well, it's just if it gets to the point where it construct robots itself, we better start shutting
Not
those
even-
robot plants down.
Ugh, not even that, just like shutting down cloud storage for, or destroying databases, or, getting in, destroying the NSA's database, the FBI, government databases, sending false information between government,
Well,
radar systems. That there's a lot of shit it could fucking do that's bad.
every show touches on it now, like in that Altered Carbon show, how there's the AIs, and when he goes and plays cards with them, and some of them just hate humans and want to fuck humans over, but he likes humans.
Oh,
And-
you mean when the AIs all go play cards?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a group of AI playing poker, and one of them, who's friends with the main character, he likes humans. He likes having them around, whereas the others all pretty much see them as like a tool to manipulate, basically.
It's crazy because, like, it seems like that will probably be what happens.
Well, I think that book was written quite some time. Okay, the book came out in 2002.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's quite, was that 16 years ago? It was quite a while before AI was real. But yeah, been a concept for quite a long time.
But AI, like, it's also awesome. Like, we need it. Bring it on. Maybe it'll fuck us up, but maybe not. And I want to see what this universe has on offer. I just want to see things. My curiosity is, like, more important to me than my fear, or more.
Yeah, it's exciting, but it's also scary, eh?
Yeah, because I just want to know that the universe has so many fucking secrets, and in my short lifetime, I'm gonna get to see fuck all. But I want the
Yeah.
more I'm so excited at the prospect that I could see all this shit, and just I want to know. I want to see aliens. I at least want to fucking see us discover.
You're not going to see aliens.
I'm talking about. I'm happy with the bacteria.
Oh,
I'm
just
happy
anything, eh?
with like extraterrestrial life.
I feel like we'll just miss it, eh?
I know.
I feel like they're going to send a probe through a fucking geyser spout on Europa or something, and they'll be like, oh, there's microbacteria in here. Like, that's how it'll be. It's not going to be some grand discovery where fucking the xenomorphs of aliens come down and invade Earth and the fucking Predator saves us. And
What if we get AI and then our technology just gets advanced that quickly? Because that's what they would say. Who?
well, there's a bunch of theories. I can't think of. The Fermi paradox is one, that there's got to be a certain amount of life and all that shit. But there's another one to do with AI. It's the number of civilizations that will be able to develop, like the number of civilizations divided by the number that would arise that would be able to get to the point where they could develop artificial intelligence. Because that's the leading theory, is that we will never be able to populate the universe. but robots will. Self-replicating robots. You send a small robot, say maybe the size of a shoe, you send it to Mars, it crashes down on Mars, it gets up, walks around, collects a bunch of rocks, mines ore out of them, smelts it down, makes parts, and builds 3 other robots.
There's no end to it.
Yeah,
really.
those 3 robots go off to Jupiter, wherever, and they all crash down, and they in turn make another 3 robots, and then very quickly you end up with a fucking shitload of robots just flying around self-replicating. But yeah, I mean, our biology limits us. We're never gonna colonize the solar system. Just to be able to get to Mars is at the moment, impossible with the technology we have. So yeah, that's. I think every generation, because I've heard older people say this, I feel like I just wasn't born in time to see aliens or see the colonization of another planet. But yeah, I feel like we're right there, eh? We're right fucking there.
Yeah, it can just go either way now.
Yeah, well, the Elon Musk launching cars into space, so I feel like we're not far off.
What a fucking legend, eh? He's just an absolute lord.
It just doesn't give a fuck, eh? He just does what he wants.
I
So awesome.
I got the money. I'm gonna fucking do it. Fuck y'all.
What do you got down there?
I've got a fair few. Did you hear about? Did you hear about the flight that had to fucking land because someone was farting heaps? Did you hear about that?
No.
So
Where was this?
I know the headline was so good.
That's
but
great.
So there's a flight from Dubai to Amsterdam, and it's probably all those like fucking Middle Eastern curry farts. So some guys was letting rip, and there was and then it just started a full punch up on board.
Oh, it started a fight.
Yeah, because I like the headline. What the headline's like? Yeah.
What, the guy was like, stop farting, and he was like, fuck you.
Yeah, or they just had, because some guy just kept farting and it just started, some guys ended up punching.
Hey, that's
up.
a powerful ass. That's a powerful arsehole.
I think like maybe he just like left Lebanon or was in Dubai and maybe he'd gone through Lebanon, just ate the filthiest Lebanese kebab.
Goat kebab too.
Yeah.
Goat curry.
He'd been sitting in the sun for 3 days and he's like, fuck, I have food poisoning so bad, and he's just letting these heinous farts out. I swear, how's that ever happened before? Has a plane had to land from someone just letting rip?
Well, technically it's not from letting rip, it's from the fight, right?
Yeah.
But the farts caused the fight, so you can chalk it up to the dude's farts.
Yeah, it's definitely, I'll say.
I wonder, that's got to be a first, surely. That's so filthy.
Oh, no.
There's nothing worse. You're in a plane and somebody's just shitting everywhere. And you're like, dude, you know all this air is fucking recycled, right? You piece of shit.
Dude, I've had people fight. Actually, I was at the gym a while. I was on the cross trainers doing a warm up, and there's this guy next to me, you know, just on the cross trainer too, and all of a sudden, the worst fart I've ever smelled in my life, like the one that's gonna hang around for like those egg farts, and I was just like, you know, when you're trying to do something, I was actually so pissed off. I was like, fuck you, cunt. I was like looking at him, and he's just straight ahead like nothing's happened. And I'm just like, you just dropped that bomb. And I actually suffered through it. And it was the worst few minutes of my life trying to like just do that warm up.
Oh, it's fucking filthy.
Hey,
Yeah, some
you
people
fart
don't give a fuck.
you fart in a public place. I can't even hate you because it's funny.
It is funny. It is funny. That's impressive though. Shout out to that guy's butthole for fucking basically.
It happened the other day
plane.
when I messaged you. Hey, I was at the gym again and someone farted again, and I literally had to put what I was doing and leave the fucking room and go to the other room in the gym because I was just like, like. I swear I'll find a fart funny any other time. When you're at the gym, it's like you only got a certain amount of time to do shit.
And you're like struggling already.
Yeah,
and
and some cunt
in your
just
mouth.
like opens up his butthole.
Do you reckon it's surely it's the guy in the squat rack? He's just pushed too hard on the way up.
He's just blown his ring piece out at the same time. Prolapsed his asshole.
All right, so next one. This is actually hilarious. You'll like this one. This is right up your alley. So, with all the accusations, sexual assault accusations that have been flying
Are you
around.
talking about that girl right up the alley? That girl the other night.
No, oh man, no, we'll talk. I don't know. No, we'll talk about it another day. All right, so
No, we'll talk about it now. It's just going to sound super sinister, actually, now that I brought that
oh
up.
yeah, yeah, good point. Actually, no, we didn't kill anyone in the alleyway. No, we were walking home from a kebab shop that I'm surprised we did not get food poisoning from on Saturday
I told you it
night.
was sweet. I ate there. I've tried.
Dude, all their meat was cold.
Yeah, that's a valid point.
Yeah, the salad, it was. I can't believe I wasn't sick, but it did taste delicious. Anyway, walking back, and this fucking girl. I mean, how old do you think she was? 19?
Nah, she'd be about 21, I reckon.
Yeah, somewhere
around 20.
So we're just leaving, and she starts following us, and I can't even remember what she said. I was fucking fuck-eyed at that point. But we're talking to her. She ends up falling over backwards like a plank of wood on the curb and just smashing her head.
Did she?
Yeah, do you not remember that?
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, oh no, I helped her. Yeah, so she tripped over. She was walking backwards.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Yeah,
Fuck, I was wasted.
Yeah,
Okay,
well,
I think I was drunk.
I was
and
fucked as well. So she's walking backwards, talking to me, and I was like, "Watch out, watch out!" And she fucking just planked onto the fucking pavement. And
That's right. And you helped her up.
Yeah, I helped her up
She was
and-
just following it. So she just started following it.
yeah, so I helped her up, and then she started following us, and we got to the we had to go down this alleyway to cut through to get to your house, and I said to her, oh, we have to go down here. You'll lose your friends because her friends are at the kebab shop. You'll lose your friends if you come down here, and then you won't know how to get back. So we have to go down this alleyway. And she literally looks me dead in the eyes, and she goes, "But what if you go down my alleyway?"
Yeah, and she was super aggressive to us.
She was.
And then she kept making stuff to us, like, and then she turned to me and said something too about our alleyway, and she was going on for ages, and we were like, "What do we
Well,
do?"
she asked where you lived. She's like, "Do you live alone?
Yeah,
And, like,
really?
Are you guys single? And like, how many bedrooms do you have? And do you have beers at your house?" Like, she wanted to come back here.
Yeah.
Just me, you, and her. And I was like, "Well, listen." I actually had to like put both my hands on her shoulders, and I was like, "We both have girlfriends that we love, and we're leaving now. So goodbye."
Yeah. Yeah, I know, and it was, I know, and it's like, hey, where were those girls when I was 20? They weren't around.
I know. I would have killed for one of them.
She
when I
was a
younger.
good-looking girl too.
Oh, she was gorgeous.
But they're so aggressive. Like,
That was next level. I've never come across a woman of her age, maybe a middle-aged woman, like middle-aged to older woman. That was like some middle-aged older woman aggression level. I don't know if you ever had that when you were younger,
yeah.
but for a girl her age, that was unheard of.
I think now just younger girls like are just way more world-wise when they're younger, and they know what they fucking want. They're gonna get it. Like that's what I like. Because girls were different when I was 20. Like I hate saying that like I'm an old cunt. So like you feel like an old cunt. I hate it when people are like
Well,
I'm
people
30.
have changed in the last 10 years a lot.
Yeah.
You know, like the internet and social media and stuff. I feel like it's changed a lot. Like you said, like we're joking, where were those girls when we were young? But legitimately, girls were not like that.
No.
It was, and you know, it's no judgment or anything. I mean, I would have fucking loved it when I was younger. But
That's
it's
what I wanted when I was that age.
exactly.
I was like, why are girls not like that?
Yeah,
and now I'm like, why are girls like that?
yeah, because you're like me. You're retarded when it comes to women. Unless she comes up and grabs you by the dick, you have no idea she likes you.
Yeah, I have no radar for that, hey. And you
Yeah,
walk off and someone's like, oh, that chick was, yeah.
Oh, she was frothing on you, and you're like, what?
I think
And
too.
then you're
'cause
like, fuck, it just blew all my chances.
yeah, I think too, because my focus was always just having a good night. I was always
My
like,
focus was always, how many Jack Daniels can I stick
Yeah.
in my throat?
yeah, it was always like, I just wanted to get blind and talk bullshit and have a good night. And, you know,
Girls are always secondary.
yeah, well, when you go with those cunts that are like, you know, you walk into a bar and they just bang, just
And
go
they
on.
just go, poof, smoke
Yeah.
bomb.
And then you see him walking around the club like they're the fucking Terminator trying to assimilate some woman. You're like,
That was
"You
two
look
different references there, by the way.
Yeah, it was two different. I know.
You got to be careful, man. You piss off a bunch of people.
I know. Fuck you all though.
piss off
But I
the
was like,
Star Trek fans.
You look like a rapist. I know, but I'll admit it. Fine. Are you guys ready? I watched heaps of Star Trek
The new
in
one.
my
though, right?
lifetime. No,
Oh, you watch all the old ones?
all the old ones.
Really?
Hey, all the old ones. My mum is a Star Trek fan. So, here's something funny. When we were younger, you know Steve-O? Yeah, Mum,
From England, yeah.
Yeah. So, when we were younger, I think Steve-O was giving my mum shit about liking Star Trek or something. And he's like, oh, you probably speak Klingon, like joking. And mum was like, no, like said something like silly.
Just made up shit?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
I was going to say, if your mum actually knows Klingon, that's so awesome.
For years, he thought that mum actually could speak Klingon. But like, she was like a super nerd. And it's like, yeah, she's a nerd when it comes to spaceship, but
That's
like,
so awesome. Your mum's so unassuming too. She'd be like the last person I would pick to fucking be into Star Trek, let alone speak Klingon.
oh, mum fucking loves Star Trek.
Well, my dad was the same actually. He's got what's the one with the bald guy in it?
Oh, Next Generation.
Is it? Yeah, my dad's got that whole series on fucking video.
Oh man, yeah.
It's like it's literally like 30 videos.
Yeah,
and it all makes like a big picture of the Enterprise.
I've seen it. I remember people that had it.
Yeah,
Patrick Stewart's a fucking legend.
Yeah,
mate.
that's his name.
I love that. I love how he's in American Dad, just pulling the piss out of himself. He's become basically a meme, and he loves it. He's just the Lord.
Yeah. So, fucking got hell sidetracked there. The one I was going to say that you'll like, Monica Lewinsky is coming out, and she reckons.
Did we actually not get to the point?
No,
we didn't. Oh shit!
Monica Lewinsky is accusing Bill Clinton of abusing his power. It's like, hey, Captain Obvious, no shit.
He just, and at this point, he's just like, I haven't been in the office for fucking what, like almost 2 decades. I don't give a fuck.
That was why everyone was mad to start with. Did you only just figure that out?
Yeah.
Like, that one just blew my mind. I was like,
yeah, she's obviously like,
you've lost the plot.
Yeah, or she needs to be in the limelight again.
She's lost it.
Maybe she was cryogenically frozen for the last 10 years and she's just come out. She's like, hey, okay. I didn't realize it was 2018. No.
Well, when did that happen? Fuck. It's like 90.
Man, it'd be close to a decade, 15 years. Well, we've had, what,
Nah, more
George
than that.
Bush
It's
twice.
It's like 20-something years ago, man. Like I was thinking like 95 or something.
Was that long ago?
I think so. I'll Google it.
So we had George Bush twice.
What year do you reckon it was?
Oh, fuck. I reckon mid-90s. I'm going to say 93. Nah, surely.
93?
No,
Maybe.
I'll go. I reckon it was maybe after that. No, I'm going to say. Yeah, I'm going to say 93.
Well, I can't actually find the Bill Clinton Monica Lewinsky scam because it just comes up with the new one. But he was. Yeah, he was president from 93 to 2001. Fuck, I didn't realize he was president to 2001.
93, I guessed. Well.
Oh, 1998 it happened. There you go.
Ah, fuck you, Google.
That's hilarious. Yeah, that was so obvious. It's like, yeah, no shit. Like, the headline should have been, Monica Lewinsky accuses Bill Clinton of abusing his power, semicolon, no shit.
Semicolon 20 years ago.
This is actually, Bill Clinton could have taken a leaf out of Code Orange's book and just tweeted her back, eat shit. Of course I did.
He probably would too. He's like,
hey,
how old is he like? He's like 1 million now.
He fucking looks like he's dying.
Yeah, he does. He looks half dead.
Well, he's got to put up with Hillary every day. I mean, what are you going to...
Oh, she'd be raging too, the Trump beat her.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, We'll get into that another day.
Wait,
Hillary Clinton.
did you see? I got one here. Did you see that guy live streamed his own murder on Facebook?
Intentionally?
No, unintentionally. It was fucking hectic. I saw the video. So he's just walking around, and it was his birthday, and he's got his phone, out. It was on a selfie stick, and
Is
he's
this in America somewhere?
yeah, and he's just walking around, and he's got Facebook Live on, and you just hear some guy like, "Oh, you live?" And he's like, "You live?" And he says it a few times. Then you see a bang, 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 like 4 gunshots, and you see the camera go everywhere, falls to the ground.
Fuck. When did that happen? This week?
Yeah, I saw it last night.
Jesus fucking
Fucking
Christ.
hectic, eh?
So,
Hey, any more reasons to like restrict guns?
This guy was just walking around looking for.
He's a musician too. Yeah, he's walking.
No, I mean the guy who killed him. Like,
Oh, yeah. There wasn't any talk of why or
well,
what.
because if he's like, "Are you live? Are you live?" It seems like opportunistic, you know. Like he was like, "Oh, that guy's live. I'll get famous if I kill him."
Yeah,
That's
it's
fucked.
weird. He says it a bunch of times. Poor bloke though. He's walking around happy. It's his birthday. He's just having a good time, and some piece of shit fucking
That's fucked, though.
hectic. Eh?
I just don't know. We talked about this already, but I just don't know what it's going to take to fucking change the laws.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's fucking insane.
How many people have got to fucking die for that?
It's fucking ridiculous. All right, so we got 2 more, and then we'll get out of here. Bunnings burned down in Mount Lawley. It was the home of a notorious wanker from Perth that everybody will know who I'm talking about. However, we're not going to say his name because I don't want to give the cunt any time on the show.
Hopefully, he was there.
Yeah, it would be nice if he was involved in the fire and he got locked up for starting it. Yeah, so Bunnings in Mount Lawley burnt down. It was like this big fucking exclusion area because it was like a huge chemical fire. But I saw on Facebook, Simone from Voyager actually lives really close to there, and she said she thought it was gunshots because there was a bunch of explosions, and then the police went past, and then there was a bunch of explosions again, and they just kept, like, for an hour there was
Probably
explosions.
shit in there, right?
Yeah, it was a
fertilizer.
Yeah, that's why there was a big exclusion area because of all the chemicals.
Yeah, because I saw aerial photos and the thing was fucked. Like the whole roof.
Black
Yeah,
smoke.
it didn't just singe it. It burnt the whole building to rubble
Melted
pretty
it, eh?
much. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, she was just saying that it just kept popping off, and yeah, she thought it was gunshots, or so like she said it was like some kind of gunshots going off and all the sirens and shit. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. They don't know what happened yet, but the whole fucking Bunnings is leveled, eh? Yeah.
Fuck, that's hectic, eh? Disgruntled employee.
I don't know. Just lucky there's no one inside, really, I suppose. But
Oh, really?
there's
That's
some
good.
fucking shops down the road had like a sign out today. It was like, "Come in and get your keys cut. No chemical fires inside."
I love that, how people just use the opportunity for a joke.
Well, it's okay to joke about it because no one got hurt. But if someone was in there and they died, that'd be pretty fucked up to make that joke.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
so that
that's
was
true.
a bit of hectic news overnight. I think you've got one more there, eh?
Yeah, I got 2 more.
Oh,
Just
okay.
one short one. It's a music one. Machine Gun Kelly. Have you ever heard Machine Gun Kelly?
I have. I've never heard his music though. I've heard of him though.
So he is, as a hip hop artist, he's fucking awesome. But he did a cover of, I don't know why either. He did a cover of Blink 182 I Miss You, and it was a full band.
A rap cover.
Nah, he sung it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Was it good? Was it good? Jo- was Josh? Was it good?
Well,
What do you mean? Was it good though?
honestly though, his band terrible, but you need to see it for yourself. It is so fucking bad. I was like, what? He's hell famous. He's killing it. Well, I get that you love Blink. Don't. Don't. We need to have a weekly section of just don't.
Just called Don't.
Just called Don't. Machine Gun Kelly.
Maybe we could print a shirt.
Don't.
Print a shirt, the DP, and on the back,
Don't. Don't.
Whatever you're thinking, don't.
I know you like Blink. Don't. Oh yeah, no, that's cool. You didn't listen to them growing up. They're a major inspiration in your musical career. Don't.
So what's he done?
It's just so like you thought people can sing out of key. He's taking it to another level. It's just like the whole thing is so flat, and it's just like, oh, I've got AIDS. It's so bad. I was just like, man, he's a professional musician, and then people cheer and go mental over it. And I was just like, it wasn't like there was a couple flat notes or couple notes you didn't hit. The whole thing. Just the whole thing.
What's he in the news for now, though? Surely not in the news for his shit cover. Is that what he's in for?
No, I just saw it. It just popped up in my feed, and I was like, "Oh, that's so bad." I thought talk about that.
I thought he had something to do with the festival thing.
Oh no, that's my other one.
Oh, okay. So I thought those were related. So what's the other one then? What's the other one?
Hang on, just let me sigh a few more times. Oh fuck! Of course, this has been an ongoing thing with Triple J and all the, well, to paint it lightly, morons of the world. But it's so I don't know what festivals, but I've seen it on a few things now. I saw Alternative Press post it up. There's been a few things post about it. A bunch of like over 50 festivals make pledged for gender equality,
yeah.
Gender equal lineups for by 2022. So my thoughts on that. So I don't know what festivals they are, and this is talking worldwide. But
it's a lot. There's like 20 festivals, right?
50
yeah.
Over 50 or so.
A lot of fucking festivals.
It is, it's a lot. And my thoughts are, didn't we listen to music because we liked it, not because who was playing it? Because even go back into the back in the day when slavery was abolished, did they try and force lineups that were culturally equal or?
They didn't have festivals, and you fucking idiot.
No. Yeah, they would add music in the 60s or what.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But all I'm saying is that, like,
I was thinking way further back.
well, I like music because I put it on. It sounds good to me. It doesn't matter if it's a girl singing. It doesn't matter if it's a guy singing. I just fucking like it. I like a lot of bands with female singers. I like a lot of bands with male singers, but there's way less female bands I like because there's like way less female ones that I enjoy, like that are good to me. So,
well, not just good. It's just that there's way less females involved in music, particularly any type of heavier music, and it's a problem that they have in STEM fields, in archaeology, even in history. Obviously, those are the ones I'm involved in, so I know. Is that women? There's not as many women, and that's not necessarily because that anyone's stopping women getting involved. I mean, in terms of science and STEM fields and stuff, definitely in the past there has been restriction on women entering university and all that. Everybody knows that. That's historical fact. No one's debating that. But these days, it's that women aren't interested in things like engineering. Not as interested in things like engineering, science, history, archaeology, geography, geology. They're just not things that women take to, and that's fine. It's just that it's not what they're interested in, and that's exactly what you're finding with musical festivals. I'm sure if you had like a pop festival, you would get a lot more women there.
Yeah, because
women like music in general. Generally speaking, women gravitate to those kinds of music, whereas in heavier music, metal, even rock and roll and stuff like that, there's less women because less women are interested in it. And I'm not saying that there's not people involved in metal who are like, oh, fucking girls don't belong, whatever. Of course there is. Any demographic is full of fucking idiots who will say dumb shit like that. That's definitely a thing. But to say that we need to have festivals that are half women, half men, when only, like, what is the percentage of bands that make it to a point where they can play a festival?
Yeah.
It's, what is it, 1%? Generously speaking, it's probably 1%. And what percent of those 1% bands have a female in them? And not even half the band is female. Just one
What
female.
percentage are good?
Well, not even that. I'm not even factoring that in. What percentage of that 1% just has a female member? It's probably like 0.1%. Now go even further. What percentage of those bands have half their members as female? Very fucking few. And that's what these festivals are talking about. Half male, half female. What you're going to end up with is festivals that have some good bands and a lot of shit bands because they're just trying to fill their quota of, we've got 400 male musicians. We need to find 400 female musicians. And when female musicians are few and far between in a metal like genre like metal, particularly like black metal and stuff, you're going to end up with a bunch of shit. You're just going to be picking bands because they have female members, not the quality of their music or the quality of their performance or any of that. It's you're looking at just gender. It's literally what people are trying to fight against, picking and discriminating based on gender, and that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
And why do people care so much? Like, don't you just like music? Why do people care who's playing it, whatever? Just go to the festival and you want to go and see bands you like. Who in this life, well, heaps of people, but why do you have to be so fucking PC about everything? Why does that even come into it? Can't we just like fucking music because we like it? Why does this bullshit political crap have to come into everything, you know? It doesn't belong in music. Everyone's trying to make a fucking political statement all the time with everything. And it's just like, fuck off. How about let me enjoy music? Let everyone enjoy music. And you can take your bullshit political agenda and fuck off.
Well, music has been used for political agenda.
I know, but they're political bands. But like, you know, like the political band, if you're a political band, you can push your political agenda and drone on about it. Good. I won't listen to it. But some people can choose to. But, you know, we don't need, like, it's like everyone in life wanting a participation trophy for rolling up. No, we need a competitive spirit. We need competition. If you're not good, you don't deserve to be up there with the people that are good. And it doesn't matter who you are, what your gender is, what your race is. We just want to hear good music. And it's like that with everything. Just be better. Get up there, be better, put on good music. We'll be there to watch. If you're a good band, I don't give a fuck who is in your band. Like if your race, like we're saying, race, gender, I'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
Why does that argument even?
I don't know.
I can't comprehend.
I like the idea of trying to get more women involved in music.
But yeah, push more women to start playing music. Cool.
Yeah, but I think that's the thing is that women they're just not as interested in music. I think because women who are interested in music gravitate more towards things like cello, violin, piano, less traditionally rock heavy instruments, which is fine. Like that's okay. I'd be interested to see some statistics of how many women are involved in classical music versus how many are involved in stuff that we play. I think it'd probably be a bit higher over there.
Or pop singers, like it seems. How many female pop singers are there? Like you said, there's so many. Like that.
Well, all the huge ones are predominantly female. If you take Justin Bieber out of the equation, you're pretty much left with all women. Katy Perry, Adele, the blonde chick. My brain stopped working.
Yeah.
Skinny blonde.
Yeah. Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift, yeah.
Well, yeah, all of the big female singers, it's just but people like it because it's good. I don't listen to that and go, I wish that chick was a dude.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Women just gravitate more towards that type of music, and men gravitate more towards well, not all men, obviously, but the people who do gravitate towards metal are generally speaking more men. And there are women in the metal community. It's not like no one gave a fuck that the chick from Arch Enemy was a female.
No.
No one cared. No one ever even mentioned it.
What about that chick from that Falsifier?
Oh, she's a fucking beast. Her vocals are amazing.
Yeah, and it's just like it's not an issue. People just have to create a fucking political agenda for everything, and it's just like, oh, I'm so tired of it. Shut the fuck up. Take it back to your shitty ass college and cry to your social justice warrior, idiot, small-minded mates.
Yeah, that's it. We're going to end up with festivals with just a bunch of filler bands if we do that. It's a silly idea. And, yeah.
Get a grip. Like what you like. Like what sounds good to you, not yeah.
Just judge bands based on merit. If you like a band, who cares who's in it?
I feel like Cam Cope started this. Say, fuck you, Cam Cope.
I don't know.
Fuck you. We're going to have a section that's called Fuck You, and we're going to have a section called Don't. And both of those, Cam Cope, don't make music, and fuck you.
I feel like it's just disappointing. Like the whole thing of metal was it didn't matter who you were. Was it you'd play cool songs and people would come. It didn't matter what you looked like or who you were, what race you were from, whatever. Just, make good songs and people would come. And now we're doing a backtrack like, oh no, it matters if you're a girl now. If you're a girl, you should get special treatment. Isn't that anti-feminist? I don't know.
Yeah, it is. It is anti-feminist because aren't feminists the ones that are like, no, I can do it myself.
Well, they want. The whole point is equality, and that's the opposite of equality.
Yeah.
So it's crazy to me. We'll move on from that because we'll fucking bang on forever.
Also, I know we're going to talk about Donald Trump, but I want to nominate Camp Cope for Wank.
I don't know anything about Camp Cope.
Well, they're the ones that started that whole fucking thing that Triple J was banging on about, that they had a cry that they were playing too early at Falls Festival, I think it was. And they were like, then they started bringing up the equality argument. They were banging on. And honestly, they are so fucking bad. It's like, learn how to write a good song and then maybe you deserve to be up there. But they have win so fucking much now that they've got what they wanted. They're just from complaining rather than going and writing better songs or being a better musician or writing something that people like more. They complained, kicked up this big stink that went across and was talked about all across Australia. Now all this other bullshit's happening and it worked. So you're wank of the week, maybe of the year. I hate you.
I hope they tour Perth and we can have them on. That would be awesome.
Yeah. Just have them sitting there and just be like, I hate you. And then there's nothing else said. End of the episode.
Well, the only other thing I had to talk about was since we've nominated them instead of Donald Trump.
He's wanker just all the time. He's a wanker.
The only other thing I wanted to talk about quickly was some legend has spotted a speed camera.
Yeah.
And he's pulled his car up around out of view of this camera and he's grabbed a fucking VB carton, put it on his head so that they couldn't identify him, and taped a tea towel to the back of the car that had the speed camera in it so it can't take photos of people.
What a fucking legend, eh?
If you haven't seen it, Google it. It's so funny. It just looks so ridiculous. And it's like, you're just looking at it, you're like, only in a fucking Australia would that happen, eh?
I love it when people take the time out of their day to go and do things like that. He's done the people a favour. He's the man of the people. What a legend.
That's it's very Aussie spirited. Stick it to the man, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. So any tunes you've been spinning?
Oh, I actually forgot about this. Have you got one already?
I found a random album. It's not new, but fuck, I've dropped my phone. I can't remember the name of them. They are called Weaver at the Loom. Now, I'm a huge Copeland fan.
Weaver at the Loom.
Yeah, so I was listening to Copeland and they popped up. I love Copeland. They're one of my favourite bands. So good. But they're quite soft if you're into Copeland or into stuff like that, ambient, sort of indie pop stuff. They're really cool. Real like quite depressing, real like low key sort of band, but I actually really like. I don't know who they are. It just popped up on the artists you might like, so I've been listening to that. The album's called Before Now It Was Then, so check it out. I like it.
Got a song? Got a specific song?
Nah, I don't, because I've only given it a few spins, but yeah, it's actually the whole album's quite good. So
Yeah, cool.
bang it on from start and give it a listen. But actually, we're talking about songs. It's an old one. I was talking about Copeland. They broke up for years. They put out a new album, and they have a song called "Erase You." I wanted to show you this one, Zane, because it has the most epic saxophone solo, and you can sit.
I'm interested.
Yeah, so it's like an acoustic song, and they just have this amazing atmosphere to their music, hey. And they're a band that I will always love just putting on, and I can just sit back in the dark and just surround myself with their sound. They have this acoustic song, and it's just such a soft song. A lot of like breaks, like perfect like breaks between his vocals and silent moments, and then he just comes in with this solo, the sax solo, and you can just hear the sound of the guy's breath, and it's almost like his breath sort of doesn't breathe enough to hit the note in parts, and you just hear his breath, and it sounds like you're there in the fucking room with it.
Well, that's just if you mic them up properly, because most people just clip the mic on the horn on the saxophone, whereas the way to do it is clip the horn on and have a condenser in the room, like the NT.
So you get the room sound.
So you get the room sound. You actually get the breathing as well. That's what you're getting. Yeah, that makes it.
Oh,
that gives it that real feeling.
Because it's just acoustic, and that sax. I'm just like, it's one of the best things. This is the moment in a song that I heard, and I was like,
which song was it?
It's called "Erase You."
Erase You.
Off their new album, Exora. I don't know how to say it, but yeah, the band's Copeland.
Copeland, Erase You.
That song is so good. And you know what else is cool that they did? This is fucking awesome. So they did the album, and then they did a whole nother version of the album. There's like a softer version acoustically, but they did it so when you play the two albums at the exact same time, they create a third version.
Oh, what the fuck?
Of all the songs. And all the harmonies work together, and you hear it, and it's just mind blowing.
What the fuck? That's hectic.
Yeah, I'd never heard of a band doing that.
How much work went into that? Fucking hell.
Yeah, they're an amazing band, man. They're super soft. They're one of my favorite bands. I've loved that band forever. They're so fucking good.
Yeah, right. That's hectic. I have to check that out.
Yeah, fucking cool.
So I've been just listening to like something a little more passive this week. Just because I've been fucking reading a million pages and shit for uni. Going back to White Moth Black Butterfly, they put an album out like late last year called Atone.
Who are that?
I discovered them because I wish I could marry Dan from Tesseract. They're Tesseract's vocalist, so he...
hey, bring him out. We got gay marriage now. Hook it up.
So he heads up this band as well. Him and a chick who I've forgotten her fucking name now do the vocals. And she's awesome too. She's got like that raspy chick, like that. It's like a dry raspy chick voice that was really popular for a bit. Kind of like Lorde. Like that indie raspy. Yep. Yeah. She's got that. And she's fucking really good. And they put out this album called Atone. It's very, atmospheric. It's a little bit proggy, but they had some really cool shit. Like they had, I can't think of what it's called now. It's a Chinese guitar. It's like pear shaped in the fucking.
It's not a sitar.
No, that's
Indian.
That's the Indian one. No, This it's similar actually. The fret on it is like 200 mil thick.
Oh.
Yeah. But as soon as you hear it, you'll be like, oh. But yeah, so they had some really interesting instruments on it, and I've just been jamming. That's such good music to relax to.
I gotta check that out. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's really good, man. Dan's vocals are insane. So yeah, check that out. Atone, White Moth, Black Butterfly. It's on Apple Music, Spotify. I'm sure the ones you picked are as well. Otherwise, yeah, check out that new Parkway song. Let us know what you think. It was weird for me. Video hurt my feelings. The new Eye Valiance was pretty good. The rap part might grow on me, but for now, I'm not sold on the rapping. But we'll see how we go on that.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's it, man. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, not really. I think we talked a lot of bullshit today. That's good.
Yeah, we've done like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, I think.
Oh, fuck.
Just over that, yeah.
Sorry, everyone. Yeah. Sorry.
No worries. So, yeah, we'll get back to you with a guest next week and see you then. Thanks for listening.
See you guys.
Cheers.